See him.
There we go. All right, welcome everyone. Celebration Community Development District meeting, August 25th, almost September. Can we get a call to order?
Yes, sir. Tom Tucson.
Here.
David Hume.
Present.
Greg Feinlock. Not online. Shell Hart. Here. Jack McLaughlin. Here. Rise for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for
For
which it
republic
stands,
for which it stands, one nation under God,
with
indivisible,
liberty and justice for all.
and justice for all.
Yeah. Very much to be heard. I get it. All right, so motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
I have a question before we start that.
Okay,
You have him present to talk about cameras. He's not on the agenda. You want to give him time during the.
the third part, yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
anything else?
That was it.
All right, so motion to approve the agenda.
Yeah.
Move. All in favor? Aye. Public comments. Come on up.
All right, I have three things.
Okay.
I live at 807 Lake Evelyn Drive.
Okay.
And 810 Lake Evelyn Drive, there's a fire hydrant in front there. Why don't they paint that yellow like it's, it needs to be painted.
The county has said they will not be painting, but we do that.
I saw.
I might have forgotten.
I forgot it.
500 of them.
I saw the one over the other,
So we'll get that painted.
810 Lake Evelyn Drive, okay.
Okay.
Second thing is. These kids on these bikes, what are we gonna do? I just drove in, I live on Lake Evelyn. I just missed three of them.
I miss them every day.
Well, I got the tree you
miss. That
Petition, what do we need to do?
that's the county. We have done everything
We,
possible.
we can't talk to the county?
We have talked to the county several times for like the last 2 years.
Orange County is studying it.
I know Orange County, we're in Osceola.
I'm sorry, Osceola County is studying it and they are supposedly considering an ordinance. I've been talking.
Right, I live on Lake Evelyn, they ride around, they drive their thing, they go up on the thing, they're running on the grass, I mean, I just missed three of them on the way over here. The school's getting out,
Right.
stop,
Listen, we've been talking about this for 2 years.
Yeah.
We've talked to the sheriff's
it's getting
department.
worse.
But we don't have any power to go ahead and
So
stop.
can't we start a petition or something in the town to send to our representative or whoever the guy is? Come on.
That's not how it works.
Yeah, there was some legislation this year, but then it didn't pass at the state. Well, it passed, but did not get signed into law.
Well, the
You
legislation,
gotta get killed, is that what it is?
well, the legislation they sent out there was
It was
was
useless.
trash.
Yeah.
It would not have done.
They wouldn't have
anything
done
for us.
anything.
All right, then the sidewalks, you guys do your thing with the sidewalks and they're hitting these sidewalks, it's going off, I mean, I see it every day.
Listen, I'm just as frustrated as you are. It's unfortunately, we have done everything we can to bring the sheriff's department in here. We've reached out to the county. I know that we talked to the attorney in the county. The representative was here and it's like, it's all on them. They're gonna have to pass this ordinance because there's no way the sheriff's department can enforce the way the laws are written. So it's up to the county to pass an ordinance to put restrictions on this.
We have no attorneys to go to these guys, we can't talk.
We-
can't
We can talk, but we can't force them. You can already talk though.
Can we hire an attorney to go to these guys?
We.
We have an attorney.
I talk to the county attorney probably every 2 or 3 months, trying to get status. They're doing some kind of research study and then they're gonna put an ordinance together. They'll take input when they get to that point, but they're not to that point. We've gotten some information, some Orange County information that we gave to Osceola County, their council, to the sheriff's
Well, how did
department.
Orange County get to do with that?
And.
Orange County,
Yeah,
Orange County historically, for the last 20 years, always does it first.
Yeah, but it's got done that way.
I don't.
Correct, but then Osceola County will follow after that. There's a lot of things that they've done first.
No, wait,
2 or 3 bike ordinances that have passed in counties, but not a whole lot yet.
Then what now?
There's 2 or 3 counties that have passed bike ordinances and a number of school districts have, but
Well, how do we get it passed here?
we're doing everything we
Pardon
can.
me?
We're doing everything we can.
We're limited. So here's the thing. There is no magic button to force them. I mean, you can call them and you can complain to them if you want as a resident. But there's nothing else that we can go ahead and do at the CCD board.
Well, I don't know what I'm trying to do.
Let's talk about Orange County. That was a school district that said you can't drive to and from the school. Okay, that's not what our Osceola County School District has done. So it's not a county issue, it's a.
So it's
school
up to the
district.
Osceola County School District then?
That's who.
So we need
that's
to go to the
what-
principals of the schools.
Not principals.
School board. School board.
Board of County Commissioners.
But that's just for the school property. They
Correct, yeah.
can't dictate what happens on our street.
That's good too. Let's go with that because they put the fence all the way around the thing, which is big. It's made that grass over there nice. You got the sprinkler system going. Unbelievable. So that's a great thing. So school board is the thing that's.
School board and the Board of County Commissioners for us.
I don't know, who's got the power?
The school board and the school district,
Well-
they have the, we don't.
No, I don't care. I
We don't.
understand that, but the school
to the-
tell me where to go. I'll go.
The county has the power to make the
County-
ordinance.
County Commissioners.
Oh, no, you just said the school board.
Listen,
They like the school.
Yeah, it's bring the lights to the school.
well, yeah, so what?
Let's start with that.
Right, so I'm trying to, I won't buy my kids one of them. They ride their
Sure, I
lights.
wouldn't either. I'm with you.
Understand.
Can we go to the school board and
You can
demand?
go to the school board and demand and go to their next public meeting and say, here's the deal. This is what we want. This is what the county did. This is what we want you to
They
do.
lock the bikes in front of the school. They're
Correct.
walking every day. They
That
walk
that
around.
will at least limit the traffic going here to there and hopefully shut some of that down,
Yeah.
but they don't control the streets. You gotta go to the county commissioner, put pressure on the county commissioner because they're
I see the bikes. No, I see the bikes inside of that fence.
inside the school.
Yeah.
They're allowed right
They're
there.
allowed
You
to
go to
park.
the school,
A lot of parking.
you can't do that in Orange County. We need to do that in
That's
the.
what, no, I'm saying, let's
So
go.
school board,
Yeah, okay,
yeah, school board.
I'll try. You guys,
School board.
okay.
We can't do anything about
All right,
it. You try.
All right, I live at 807 Lake Hemlock Drive, okay? I'm in a little house, there's two houses and there's a sign, nobody can go back there, no, there's grass back there. He's tried, I've tried to get the grass to grow, okay, so. Who do I talk to, okay, to make sure that gets taken care of? The guys are back there mowing it. Okay, and unfortunately, they're mowing it too short. I've been mowing for years, okay, I've been here 5 years, I used to mow. Now they're coming and they're cutting it so short, the grass is dying, okay? The guys, whoever does the grassing, who does that?
So if it's that, is that us?
I'm at 805, it's 805.
So we can talk to our landscapers to raise the
Please,
leaves and
yeah,
not cut it.
please, okay,
Yeah.
at the back of my house, they come flying back there, 8 o'clock, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. But I'm mowing, you don't need to
Right.
come back there, I'll take care of it, I like the
Right.
lawnmower,
It might need to miss a few times to let it
I'll do it.
thicken.
I'll take care of it. I'm trying to get it to grow. Okay.
Yeah.
I put a sprinkler system in. So it waters it. I'm gonna get the grass. I'm trying to get it to grow. Okay, but every time I do it, nobody seems to get it. It's all right. Now, my last thing. The garbage trucks. The garbage trucks are very big now. The guys pull in there, they back in there, and they go in that grass and mud all over the place. Every time they come. They come 3 days a week, they come twice and then they
In-
come.
in Lake Everett.
Lake Everett, behind Lake Everett.
Right.
It's 805, 807, 809 Lake Everett. So I'm not picking on the garbage truck guys. It's really, really difficult. The end of my block on the other side, they put an apron, a blacktop, like 4 feet.
Mhm.
Eliminate the problem. That's all I want to do. I'll pay for it. Good God. Every time they come, they go in a rut and it's mud all over the place. It's not the drivers of these trucks,
No,
no.
we'd have to have staff look into that.
Who?
Our staff. would have
Yes,
to look into
please.
that.
We can come back there and see it. I'll
Yeah.
show it to you.
We can go and look at
He
that.
backs back there, they hit the grass mud and goes all the way up to 809. And I go out there and broom it and clean it all up. And but I'm trying to make it nice.
About their.
Please put it an apron there. Somebody's gotta come, you can see it.
Right.
Now, one more thing. There's a great big tree. I took a picture of it. You can see it from the street. You look down our little alley there. Great big thing. It's dead. Who's responsible?
So that is, it's not just, well, number one, we gotta be notified of that. And we have an arborist that comes out every quarter to check the trees. And they can.
This is not a tree. This is one of those great big things. I don't know what you call
It's
it.
like conservation area.
We got oak trees in the Midwest. I'm not here. So it's huge. The thing is
It's not a
three stories
tree.
tall.
But it's not a tree.
No. It's a bush thing, whatever these things are.
Are you talking about on Lake Eldon?
I don't know, that's great big.
On the road? Cause those are creek murders.
If you stay, if you go by, 805, 809, Lake Evelyn Drive,
Probably in the woods.
809 Lake, if you look down there, you can see it.
So it is a vegetation
Yes, huge,
bush tree.
3 stories tall. There's a pink house in the corner. The guy rents the house, nice people, all they do is rent it. The White House just put a new roof on their house, but if you look down, you see this thing there, every day, something's falling down from that thing. Whose is it?
It sounds like it's in the
think it's
conservation, it's a conservation area. And so if it's not, if it's deemed as.
Why would that be? I don't think so. No, it's on this guy's.
Well, I don't know, because I'm not there, so I can't go ahead and tell you. So if we have the address, we can go and investigate and find out
Wait,
what
Well,
that.
I don't know
tree is.
who belongs to.
are you saying?
What's the address?
809 Lake Evelyn Drive is
So it might be a homeowner's tree. I don't know.
Is it on somebody's property?
it's the pink house. There's a big pink house
In the
on
front
the
of
corner.
the.
If you've ever been to Lake Evelyn Drive, God, do you know this? I know if you guys go
Well,
by.
I
I
think.
know we're in the
I-
lower section of town, okay, in terms of doing things, because we don't get things done. It's a humongous
I get a lot
house.
of things done. There's a lot.
We can look the.
Lake Evelyn is the biggest house there.
We'll take a look at it.
Right.
If it's on the person's property, then that's gonna be grown.
Yeah.
So we'll take a
Who
look.
owns it?
We have to find out where it is, so we'll take a look at it. Anything else? Got it.
Thanks.
So we got a laundry list, got a little bit of a laundry list.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, any other public comments? Okay, third party representatives, anyone from Growing? Of Growing. Sheriff.
He's on his squad box.
Yes, he is.
How are you guys today?
So far, so good.
Okay, so what were the questions with the LPR?
Can you introduce yourself, please?
Oh, I'm sorry, Sergeant Scott Kafinas, Intel Unit.
What were the questions that we had?
They told me they wanted to speak about some of the LPRs, the issues with flock
Oh, the,
around the nation.
I'll leave it, Greg.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. It's Deputy Wyland here. Yeah, during the last meeting, I believe it was Greg Felak that had mentioned Sergeant Kafinas' name specifically and wanted some data and some information on the cameras that we have and kind of some instances and operational things like that. So I asked Sergeant Kafinas to come on out there. Fortunately, I was working out by Brevard County today on the county line, so I couldn't make it back in time for the meeting. So he's got some information on the benefits and things like that, and some actual cases that we've been able to solve and offer the cameras there in Celebration. So,
What questions did you guys have about flock? Because we don't.
I don't have any questions.
Okay.
Greg.
Campers.
So
I'm sorry.
Okay, that's probably the first question. What cameras do we have?
Yeah.
We have Motorola.
Yeah.
You guys only. So
They're just license plate readers.
Right.
Yeah, they're not flock cameras
Yeah.
that pick up pictures of people or anything.
Well, that's a misconception in itself too. Flock does not take pictures of people. It's just a tag. I think the misconception around the United States is they're getting pictures of people front view and the tag. It doesn't work that way. He either gets the tag or doesn't get anything at all.
but we don't have those cameras.
We do not know. You guys have 8 Motorola's that we actually service. Anything that breaks, we fix them like that day. If I get an email alert, me and 3 or 4 of my guys go out and we'll fix it. We've used Russ a couple of times for a few things for us instead of driving all the way just to reset. Other than that, we take care of your system. I thought there was an issue with maybe with the flock issue going on that you guys were.
Now, I think the context of our other board member who is now on the school board, so
Right.
he's exited. The context was in what is the value? How do we engineer the budget?
Right.
Got all these line items. Do we need more details? What are the cameras? Do we invest in X? That was the bigger context of what he had brought.
Okay, so I think what you guys have now, your choke points coming off the World Drive. Yes, ma'am.
Can we not talk about where they are specifically? That's generally.
Okay, well, you got choke points coming in, that's fine, coming into the town, or just celebrate. So you guys have a great net around your town. It has helped us solve the golf course that got broken into when the guy stole 50 grand worth of golf clubs. That's how we located him. He's actually just got arrested up in Ohio for doing the same thing. The day that he came and did your burglary, he hit the whole East Coast, a lot of country clubs, stealing golf clubs. went back up to South Carolina in a storage shed and was selling online.
Hmm.
That's one. We've caught a sex predator going through your area. We couldn't figure out where he was at because he absconded. Ended up being, we would sit and watch his pattern of life, if you want to call it. We staged our guys, our sex offender unit, when I was over it. And we made sure that as soon as his vehicle passed, it alerted us. We followed him up into Lake County. So we arrested him for absconding. I think he's in prison now, or he may be just getting out. A few years back, you guys were having rim thefts over by the high school. They helped with those too. So we found the past month, I think 3 or 4 missing endangered adults with hits from other counties. One was Okeechobee, one was, I think, down in Hillsborough, passed by one of yours. So as soon as it passed, it alerts our real-time crime center. And what that does, it helps us locate missing persons, stolen vehicles. And we get multiple stolen vehicles, stolen tags. Homicide suspects have been driving through. Obviously, they're not from your county. They're just trying to go to these hotels. But we flag vehicles that way. We don't flag Mark's vehicle just because we want to see what Mark's doing. If you have a burglary at night, in that time frame when they hit the clubhouse, we were able to figure out, okay, there was 3 or 4 cars on the road. This is the car that it looks like on the camera from the golf course, and that's how it locates.
So as we're, under a lot of budget pressure
Yes.
because of increasing dues and all that good head.
Right.
In terms of communicating to our constituents what the ROI is for those and what might additionally we invest in that to limit and protect community, what is your recommendation?
I think right now you guys are good with where they're at. Those are all fixed sites, which means they run off the server. So the encryption, no one can get into them like they have been doing with Flock. But you have 2-part authentication. So if I need to access it, I access it via my work email, and then it sends me a link to my phone. So where I have to actually add the password sent from Motorola to me. So again, I'm just using Mark as an example. He can have my email address, but the secondary password is not going to go to him. It's going to go to us. Plus, we have our auditing capabilities that were on since day one with Motorola. And when we tested both side by side, just the volume of license plate reads, Motorola was just far beyond. And plus, it gets commercial data from tow trucks looking for vehicles that are didn't pay your bill for your vehicle, the lien, the banks are coming after them. So it gives us a lot more. They drive a lot more around parking lots, which helps us out, which helps our patrol guys, look for crime in these details on the west side. You name it, we've found it. Homicide vehicle on a tow truck. We couldn't figure out where it was for about a month and a half, and then it hit it. And we were able to get that. They were looking for that for a search warrant. So it helps out in a myriad, not just your cameras, but our cameras. Harmony got flocked some months ago. They didn't get our input on it, which is fine. So they have flock. I mean, everywhere you go, racetrack, Lowe's, you see that flock cameras are everywhere, which is good. I'll never say flock that is not worth it or Motorola is not worth it. If you can have 2 and we have access to their stuff, which is good. So we can look and see what St. Cloud has on their flock cameras, what KPD has in their area. So we have, I think, coverage of 2 companies is good. One is kind of limited.
So you said that these cameras don't get pictures of people, but then you also followed and said that's how you caught all of these individuals.
Also, because when we put the hot list together, okay, we see this car was coming through as a plate. The video from the clubhouse, tall, slender guy, matched up, registered on the vehicle. They did a little bit more research, figured out that he had hit down in Miami, Boca or something like that,
That's really off the license plate, though.
off the license plate. But we figured out when they contacted South Carolina detectives, because he lived up there, they actually did surveillance on that unit. And as soon as he opened it, all the golf clubs were in there. And he was unloading his car with golf clubs. So we're not getting pictures of people's faces. We're just getting the tag and the vehicle color. They can change their tags, but you can check. If it's a blue car, you just put in blue car, blue 4-door, blue sedan.
But, and I think a lot of people, they don't understand.
They don't.
The flock camera isn't the problem.
It's not.
It's the AI software that Flock runs on.
No, I wouldn't say it's the AI. I think they think it's the AI that's the issue. I think it's just been
Yeah,
Blow that out of proportion.
in our community, it's the big topic is, oh, it's just another form of, we don't use AI for any of this.
AI on flocks. So let's say you have a pickup truck and you have American flag sticker on the back window or a bed box.
Right.
That's how their AI works. So if
Right.
I'm looking at a silver pickup truck,
Ours doesn't do that.
Motorola's never does not.
Yeah.
But that's just something that flock counts that this is what they do that nobody else does. So, and that's fun. But if a sticker, if you got a dent on your right rear tailgate, you can put a dent there and it'll find it. But it's not looking for specific faces. It's just looking for specific characteristics
Right.
of the car. But
Yeah, if I
again,
can add, Sarge, I think you can probably expand on it, but it was not too long ago where we had a homicide occur, and based on that vehicle type, they were looking for that vehicle on the cameras, and within 15 or 20 minutes, that homicide suspect was placed under arrest. Now, if you were
that
the
was,
victim, or if you were the family of one of those victims, you darn well want those cameras to help you out. So
so
it's invaluable in that
just like
case.
Jerry said, it was over off of Fortune Road behind OHP. We thought a guy got beat up. They reviewed some cameras off of the health clinic there. And we found that a guy got off a motorcycle with his girlfriend, shot the guy. And we were able to track his motorcycle down Bill Beck by the school board, 192 westbound, track him there, hit tag readers there. Down to that Michigan, where that Goodwill and all that stuff is on the corner of Michigan and 192 Oak Street area. Based on that, we were able to figure out, he went into like a Dollar Tree or whatever store was there. He dumped the gun in the kid's play bin that has like plush toys, and his girlfriend and him separated. He tried to get different clothes on. I think within 30 minutes we caught him. So they do help. Now, are there misuses by people? 100%. I mean, you're never going to stop that, whether it's a doctor doing wrong things or a lawyer or cops. But we have things in place. We've had a couple of people access it since I've been starting at the sheriff's office back in 06, where they were running, I don't know if it's Tiger Woods or whoever it was, on their MDC to see where they live. Fired, charged with a felony, convicted. Immediately fired.
Do we have any? Go ahead.
I have one more question. And I wish I had specific, what I had.
I listen, I don't have, for someone who works at the intel unit and who programs all this stuff, I don't have social media at all. That's just my preference. I know there are, it's called deflock. I'm sure you've heard of it.
Yeah.
Right.
They go, that's all they do. These people just go by and they'll get on their iPhones and check it all in lats and they'll put it on that website. So you're never going to stop that. I don't care where at in the country, you're just going to have people that's what they do. They've hit our cameras a couple times, our Motorola cameras out at Nova. Cut it down the other day, about 3 weeks ago, and then cut the camera in half and left it on the ground for me. So once we find out who that is, we've already found one that stole one from the same location. He got charged with 3 felonies and now he's paying $15,000. So you're never going to stop that. You're going to have people do just, that's what they do. You saw Volusia County, the young kid is like 19, was upset with his girlfriend. So he started cutting flock cameras down and they caught him. Oviedo, they cut a fake one down because the guy kept cutting theirs down. He got arrested. So, I mean, you're just not going to stop. They'll paint them. I've had them spray painted. I've had them hit with bats. We had another one hit with a hatchet. Brand new camera. And it's useless, but we'll catch him too. Just a matter of time.
And the ones that somebody forwarded to me from Celebration don't seem to be accurate with the number and where they are.
Right.
As an aside, counting the numbers on here.
You're with you guys doing this, it helps us immensely cover your area. We definitely, when we first started this, we wanted you guys to be on board. But if we could have, we would have, out of our pocket, we'd have done it. But then we know that Harmony would want it. And then all these other subdivisions would.
That's how it works.
Yeah, and I get, listen, I get it. But we are also invested in making sure the schools were monitored for our real-time crime centers. So that's some of our, our budget up for that side of things. So you have to start somewhere, and you guys have knocked it out of the park for us.
Any other question on cameras?
Just a quick, to get on the record. You're the only one that has access, correct?
Me and my 4 guys in the intel unit and the state analyst supervisor, we're the only ones we do auditing.
We don't have access.
No, you guys,
We don't have
you guys have never had access.
And Motorola doesn't have access, correct?
No, they don't have access to it. Motorola has access to nothing. Like if their server breaks down, they can fix their server. They don't get in, they can't see tag hits, they can't see the returns. Like I run Mark's car and it comes back with Mark, this address, 1234 Smith Street. They can't see that.
So all we do, and I've suggested this before, people call, and they're like, hey, something was stolen out of my garage. It's like, well, take the time stamp and send it to the sheriff because they're the only ones that have access.
Well, not only just that, if they have access to, if they have ring cameras,
Sure, that too.
we have that FUSA, just,
No, I
Okay.
understand.
we have the FUSA software, that's our real-time crime center. They can actually email their ring camera. Right to there.
Okay, all right.
I think,
So-
I think Greg has a question. Greg, go ahead.
All right.
Yeah, sorry I'm late, guys. You may have already covered this. Is there anything the sheriff's office would recommend as far as just ways to reasonably protect the cameras? I've just kind of Googled, and some places are they're putting cameras, watching the cameras, or they're putting cages or whatever else. I mean, I don't want to be a cost prohibitive conversation, but I also, knowing that we're going to own this stuff in the next year,
Right.
the lease to buy option that we put under, it's going to be our equipment. Is there anything reasonably that the sheriff's office would recommend we'd want to look at just to protect what we've got?
You know, we've gotten hit 4 times already, 3 stolen, 1 painted, and the other one, we don't even know where it's at anymore. They're gonna get to it, they're gonna get to it. So you're gonna spend money on something that someone's gonna break down anyhow or tear up. They'll bash it with a bat, they'll bash it with a pole, they'll shoot it out. I don't think there's anything you could, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. Like, luckily, you guys have the warranty coverage through Motorola. I'll call them in, hey, got shot by a gun. All right, we'll send you a new one. So that's what your warranty covers.
Yep.
And then I'll come out here with me or my guys or just me and program it and be back up and running.
We should buy a backup.
Yeah,
So
we do have cameras though on ours, some of ours, the ones we know get hit constantly. We do have surveillance
Why
cameras.
don't we buy a
all
car?
right. So any other
Well,
comment on?
Yeah, sorry, just on that, I would recommend, Jan, I don't know if that would have been covered under our lease program. If somebody did damage, if they would just bring another one at no cost, but since we're now going to own these within the next year, obviously Motorola won't want to be a piece of that. So it may be worth looking at the contract just to see if, do we want to ask to stay on a leasing model for that risk? I don't know. I don't even know if that's an option or not, but, because I know that to replace those cameras, from what I remember on the prices from a couple years ago, I mean, I want to say it was over 30 grand a camera or something like that. Now that may have changed drastically since then, but that was the original price we were looking at.
Let me talk with Justin and get the specifics on that. I spoke with him earlier today, and see where they're at. I know the lifespan of our solars is roughly 5 to 7 years. But the servers are in there, depending on if they, if it's a computer, if it gets hot or gets struck by lightning. Let me reach out to him and see what they have now, because I know that every 4 or 5 years they get better equipment, better servers, faster servers, smaller. And then see where we're at there, and I can get you guys kind of a rough ballpark of how much the new cameras are, or the newer cameras are, or the new servers, in case. You guys actually have a pretty good power grid. Compared to St. Cloud, we just got one struck by lightning. So that was 11 grand down the drain. But that's part of doing business. It's a piece of equipment and we can replace it.
Yeah, Jen, I don't disagree to see what the warranty looks like.
Okay, yeah, and
If
I-
it's something that, should we own it? Should we lease it?
And I think we own it, I think it's 2028, but I'll have to go back and look.
Okay.
I don't.
I believe that's,
Yeah.
sounds about right.
5 years, okay.
So,
Check it.
Any other camera, because I need to move this along for 5:30.
Jerry have any other input, or we need to ask him?
Well, I didn't,
Well,
I didn't know we had anything else that's the sheriff at this time.
Feel free to email me. I mean, I'll answer you, or you can call. I think you have my number still. Just give them my personal number, and if there's anything I can help you guys with, call me 24/7. That's my personal, and it's on me. So if you guys get hit with something, we'll do what we can. Me and the guys will come out, put some other equipment out, and see if we can't fix the problem for you.
Thank you. Really appreciate it.
No problem.
Next up is mapping.
They're not here. Next month, we should have the remainder of the 2A phase for expense. There's a small amount of bond proceeds, and then we'll also be repeating that bond series, the 2021s. So there'll be a bunch of documentation. We send it over to Mattamy and we'll
Find out.
the plan is next month for that, and then that'll be followed by the.
Yeah, they were
That stuff.
hoping to get 2B on the agenda for acceptance in November. November,
Yeah.
which I just did a walkthrough on the north half, putting together the maps and punch lists now. Pretty long list, usual suspects, broken sidewalks. You know, damaged poles, light poles, handicap ramps, all that kind of stuff.
They're the best, yeah. I know about.
But a lot of the street trees are not in, a lot of the roadway shoulder tracks are not complete because there's no houses built.
Right.
So those are gonna require, if the board's amenable, require a post-closing agreement, but it's gonna be several of those tracks.
Well, let's see, in 2A, there's one lot that's not built.
Two way, there's one lot that we have that condition,
So it seemed that would be fine, but I don't know.
so.
We'll probably discuss that next month.
And we're talking about not doing partial turnovers, you know, Mattamy wants to turn over obviously the landscaping because they're having to maintain it. There was a lot of landscaping around that pond and in some common areas. But where's the balance? Do you
It's
you
not
take it?
phased, right? I mean, it's not a phased turnover, so it's either done or it's not.
It's definitely not done.
Yeah.
I walked it last week and there's a laundry list of punch
We
lists.
need to take the risk on it, we turn it sooner, so why would we?
To one.
Long list.
2A, we're ready to go.
Yeah, two ways done.
Yeah.
And it's just, that's one track. But yeah, so I just wanted to bring that to your attention that that's their request, that they want to turn over all of it, including the alleys, and the alleys get a lot of damage to them during housing construction. So
We can't take the risk.
I'm gonna bring it up Thursday, and I brought it up to Jeff last week, you know, how do you want to handle the alleys? Because the alley that they are building homes, you know, you get that big lull out there with the
Yeah.
big tractor tires, dry steering and heavy things dropping, you get imprints.
105 degree asphalt.
You know, do they want a warranty? Do they plan on repaving them when they're done with the housing construction?
It's just really hard to go after the fact, and say, now you need to fix this. And then they say, oh, no, we can't. That's part
That's
of.
where the COs come in.
And
You want to close out on your house or not?
or a 1-year maintenance bond like the county requires on a road, but then we have to go follow up and check everything and redo it.
It's painful.
I'd rather not do that. CO on this phase, I'm putting in the punch letter, you know, because it's, you know, they asked us to inspect the north half, which is the roundabout north. Out of the, I don't know how many lots are there, but I'm gonna say there's probably 15-20% of the homes are built or under construction now. So that's all the street trees that are there. So all those, you know, and I'm not gonna go out there and I'm putting this on the punch list unless, you know, you guys agree to keep track of every time they put a new tree in. Go out there, look at, did they put the root barrier in, and then, you know, or catch it with the CO. Show you my trick with the screwdriver, how to dig and look for it. You know, sometimes you can see it, sometimes you got to dig for it.
You got a trick?
Use a screwdriver.
Well, with those root barriers, they're putting them right on the curbside, which when we come in with edgers, it's gonna be a problem.
You hit the,
So that, and to properly install it, you gotta put it in there like 6 inches before it meets the sidewalk.
Right.
So I made a note of that.
Is there a requirement and a spec on that specifically?
relative to the sidewalk, no, it's just wherever you want it. The top of the root barrier should be,
Cause they're already damaging their.
oh, I know,
root
it's already
barriers.
getting hit with edgers.
There's
yeah.
already plastic flaking off.
It's only gonna damage it so much, right, edge or depth. Some places they are putting it deeper, makes it harder to find. It should be, you know, within an inch or two of the top, so the roots don't go over it and behind it. But yeah, it's. Yeah, when they put it in after the sidewalks poured, they're usually using a trencher or a trenching shovel, digging the, you know, 2 foot deep trench right along the sidewalk, dropping it in it. But some places it's a little wavy because it's kind of hard to do that.
Which now is creating a little gap in between the sidewalk and the grass. So.
Bring that up on Thursday.
Yeah.
Also bring up the requisition, the final requisition for 2A. Because we can't complete that bond issue till they do that.
Where's the meeting fall into that conversation?
Which is a
Months out.
The paint
on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, December, I think, is when the county's gonna do their 1-year maintenance bond. We've already told the board what they came back with as far as
Yeah, I think we shared that last time.
price.
Yeah. Well, what was the
paint?
time?
It's 400.
Yeah, it's 400.
Oh, I don't think we heard that. No.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man, we had it inspected and then they got prices on restored. It was almost $1,000.
No,
Mark and I believe it should be covered under the maintenance fund. I think Manny has a little different opinion on that.
But it's obviously that somebody touched it up.
There was field painting. I
Yeah.
have emails and notes that said they did a bunch of field painting.
During the punch list original inspections, there was a little bit of rust and it was on the punch list and they touched it up.
Yeah.
So those areas may be rusting. There might be other areas that weren't rusting 7 years ago that are now rusting. Combination of the both, who knows?
Mark suggested a board member attending inspection with the county. I don't think that's a bad idea.
That might be a good idea.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Good idea. We'll do it.
I'll do it.
No, I mean, that might be a good idea.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, well, moving on to staff reports, we're kind of almost there. Vendor reports. United.
Heat continues this week, but we're not seeing any fatigue on the turf. We got to hold off till October to fertilize. It's the end of our blackout period, so once that comes in, we'll blast the whole property with a shrub and turf fertilizer, so everything can start perking up for the fall. Next month we are replacing your annuals, so we'll get those swapped out. I did place your order for poinsettias, so I'll lock that in.
Yeah, apparently the earlier the better. It's.
If you lock them in now, you get premium plants. It's what I put.
Yeah.
4 to 6 months prior to, it's great. We got the warranty material for Acadia, that's getting delivered next week. We finished all the lift stations, hiding all the obscure equipment out there. So that's all done and just praying for some rain.
Yeah, I just noticed there's some groups that are planting flowers and a couple of things and literally in like a week, they're dead because they're not planting the right ones. But I think it's what you said, you can water it all day long. The heat is just,
It's heat fatigue and once the central temperature in that plant just gets exhausted, there's not enough water you can put on it, and actually too much water is gonna hurt it. So it's just praying for cooler temperatures.
no, it's been hot.
Yeah. That's all I got. I'll take a look at that
Any
tree.
questions?
Oh, thank you. I do have a question. Go ahead. And my apologies if you don't know this one, but I think we had a report last month of some unsatisfactory reclaim pressure down in Iron Village.
Yeah, it's a lot better. It's not where we want it to be, but it is a lot better, and I'm not seeing any signs of plants struggling. Most of all the firebush that is in North Village or Island Village is all coming back. So that's usually the telltale. If it's thirsty, firebush will tell you. But so far so good.
The pressure is affecting all of Celebration, not just Island Village.
I thought that was where it was most prominent. Most everywhere.
You go down there when we have our meetings like at 9, 10 o'clock, irrigation's just blasting.
We have kind of, me and Russ have started to run zones during the day when the pressure is really at peak. And then during the night, we kind of.
Enterprise let us buy some pressure recorders. Tim and Kyle's been taking readings. And you can see we've got one at Island Village, we've got one up here at the pump site. And one is right before you get to the artisan condos. And you can see it's like dropping like that, all three places. It's not just Island Village.
Is it constant monitoring where you can see the pressure over time? So it's.
No, we gotta go out and download it like once a week or whatever.
There's no better technology.
There is. There is.
Well, you know, with better technology.
Well.
Better technology,
Today.
better technology is have the county fix their stuff.
Yeah. We gotta hold them accountable to some.
So they actually, with that, they put a 16-inch screen up at the main pump site. So you got this big 16-inch pipe coming in 90, and then now they got a filter. Well, that's all good and well, but what do you think happens?
Pressure drops. Fog.
So we got pictures. I don't know if you have a thing completely clogged up. That was 10 days, 2 weeks. So it's damn,
It's the amount of
damn if
trash.
you do, damn if you don't right now. There should be no trash.
There should be no trash. So
There should be no
the
trash.
issue is back,
Yes, at their plan, Camelot plan. This happened once before, about 15, 18 years ago.
It happens at the other time too.
Yeah, it's a Toho, right?
It's total.
Okay. Have we sent the nastygram about how?
We've sent some nasty.
And
We just want to be
engineers
careful
meeting with them.
what we say because they can send us back a nasty gram and say, you're not gonna get the water you're getting. We far exceed our, what we're supposed to have.
Yes. So,
But
but the
this-
county is states that you should be only watering twice a week. We are definitely not watering. twice a
but
week.
the water pressure and all this stuff, this is ECDD.
No,
The combination.
if we can get it at 60, which is what they should be supplying us, minimum, we can get it at 90 out there in Island Village. 90 PSI.
Okay.
And you have a booster pump.
Then we got 4 of them.
Yeah.
And then we got booster pumps in Island Village too.
So we got all the boosters.
Things are getting better, correct?
I think it's definitely getting better.
Okay.
So
It's definitely getting better.
We just probably modify some of their watering times, especially in Island Village and the new plant material. Because they were trying to water at night when we had 22 PSI.
Barely.
Any other questions? All right, thank you. From Bear Lakes, I think they're on.
So our beach, like breakfast all day.
Sure am. Alex Kurth, Premier Lakes for the record. Want to provide a quick update on our maintenance operations. As typical Celebration ponds, we continue to see, large algae blooms that we continue to address. During my inspection, it was pretty much most lakes that we inspected had some amount of algae on them. Mostly filamentous this time, not a whole lot of planktonic. But our technicians were on site at the time and treating it, and we could already watch the algae beginning to decompose. So we continue to get good results with our treatment protocols. It's just, rapid regrowth, especially during these summer months. But we're staying on top of it and able to hit in our, usually we're on site 2 times a week. We're able to hit most lakes every week. So it keeps us in a pretty good position where we're, not letting anything get out of control. And the good news is submerged weeds are very minimal. But I've also noticed that the lakes that are kind of the problem child lakes, if you will, we've been consistently getting the boat in each of those at least once a month. And that's made a big difference on those, keeping those down from the, extent that they were previously. So the boat does appear to be helping pretty substantially. So we're pleased to see that as well. I did want to make the board aware that we still have a continued problem on Lake Reinhard. One of the circulators was pulled out after we observed it not running, and we pulled a ton of fishing lures and fishing line once again off of the impellers. Obviously the motor is seized up, so we're sending it back to the manufacturer. I'm doing everything I can to hopefully get them to warranty it. But if they catch something that looks to them like it was damaged from fishing line, which we cleaned them up as best we can, they may not warranty it. But we're doing everything we can to hopefully get that replaced for you guys at minimal cost. But we'll update the board when we know more. Casco is still usually 6 to 8 weeks kind of return time. So we've already got it up there with them. As soon as I hear back, I will let Carrie know and have more information for you.
We put wire on those recirculators or we're not?
Conduit.
No.
They're getting wire.
Oh, chicken wire. Yeah, oh, yeah.
Found this, so.
I mean, they're so small. I don't know what you can put in there, but
I mean, that was the thought last time was chicken wire. I don't know.
it's too big. You need something a lot of cider.
You need quarters.
Hardware cloth.
Yeah, something like that.
Or no fishing signs. Well, I'm just saying, this is becoming a financial issue now.
Well,
So-
exactly. That's why I was wondering if there was a barrier we could work with first.
you got people down there that are literally shooting for those things and the fountain with the fishing pole. You can watch them.
I mean, that just, the problem is enforcement. We can put up all the signs. How do you enforce that?
Yeah.
That's the problem.
But you're telling me there isn't a way to guard against it.
I don't know, we look at it and I don't know how to. Alex, Adrian and I looked at one of those, trying to figure out how to put a housing or a shroud or something on it. You can't penetrate it. It's gonna have to be something rust proof, so stainless steel or plastic or something. I don't know how you make it big enough to stop the impeller from sucking something in, so.
Right, and also work.
How big
Yeah.
is, how big is the impeller?
I don't know, maybe 3 inches, Alex? How big do you think the impellers are on those?
Yeah, I would say the diameters, they're not that big. 3, 4 inches sounds about right. It's a fairly small thing. And to Carrie's point, my concern would be is, we also want to be sure if we do put some kind of surrounding on it, it doesn't affect the functionality of the current that we're producing. So, it's kind of a difficult line to dance on here.
But if they're fishing and they got a hook on it, that thing has got holes on it. Even if you secure it on the ground, they're gonna yank it up.
Taking poles out of them, where it's pulling.
The whole pole's up.
Yeah.
Bad fishing. Okay.
Yeah, Adrian's up to 4 fishing poles now that he's pulled off of these.
Well, I don't know. I think we should give you the latitude to try whatever you can to see if we can stem the tide.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, when that one's fixed, Alex, have Adrian bring it to our shop and we'll take a look at it.
Yep, we can do that.
All right, thank you. Any questions for Premier Lines?
Hey, Tom, just along that line, can I also suggest it won't cure everybody, but at least hopefully some people will be responsible when they see it. If we can put out some messaging either in the magazine or on the GoGov app or something, just letting folks know, hey guys, while we don't officially allow fishing in the ponds, it just kind of happens, but please don't be fishing towards. It's one thing if it's an accident and it gets pulled in. It's another thing if people are targeting them, that it's costing the community money when they do this. I think if we could shape a message like that, it should at least get some people aware.
No, I don't disagree. But also I think a lot of people who are fishing don't live in Celebration.
I can
Correct.
the 2 or 3 that I have had conversations with are tourists who are not from.
Correct. So they won't see it, but it would help. But they could stem a few, so. Okay, any other questions?
If we're actually stopping those folks that are fishing in there that don't live here, are we able to ask them to leave or trespass them if they don't?
It's not really, we don't have really a ruling that we're not allowing fishing. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I was figuring.
Right,
Yeah.
we can't really enforce it. So, the board has to decide whether we're gonna allow fishing in that lake or not. And if we didn't want to discuss it, then we really don't have it. The problem is if we say no fishing, how do you enforce that? Because we don't have somebody walking the pond every day. So
There's signs every 10 feet.
yeah, but even technically 10 feet, but even if you see the signs, people are still gonna fish.
You put
Yeah.
signs that say, don't feed the alligators. What's happening? Somebody's throwing them a Starbucks muffin. I mean,
That's
it is what
exactly
it
what
is.
it is.
Get ready to say that.
Dave, just so you know, Dave is off the board in November, and since he won't have anything to do, we can give him a hat, sign, control the
Digital message.
digital message board, take it, eat at Joe's, same thing. All right, we'll move on. Thank you. I appreciate it. I know the lakes are a challenge, especially the summer. Have been a really great challenge, so I appreciate your help on that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't have an agenda in front of me. Is there anything else that y'all need me for? Anything?
I don't think it is.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Thank you, Jerry.
Okay, I will make every attempt to be there for next month.
That'd be good.
Thanks, Shay.
Appreciate it.
Bring the data too.
Bring the data.
All right.
That's right.
Y'all have a good evening.
Your bicycle.
I don't think. Oh, I dropped. I don't think we have Clark here.
Sharif is not here. She's
Okay.
out of town.
All right, so we move into district council.
Okay, I got a couple things. The pond permit did not have an update. Contacted council. He was very busy and we're trying to set a call this week. The last we
Council for the
golf course.
For the golf
still
course, yeah.
Ponds. Yeah, as we found, most of the permits for the golf course ponds are in the golf course predecessor's name. So the golf course would be the party responsible for that. So in our mind, it would be in their interest to move quicker on this, but at this point, we don't have an answer yet whether they're going to agree to pay for anything. What they do on the permits. So I will keep you posted.
Okay.
The next one is the CDD parcels on the golf course, and this is a bit of Kerry and Mark as well. I think, Dave, you found a sort of wetland pondish parcel
Yes.
that you identified
Yeah.
on the golf course. Mark did find that there were easements over that, so we have the ability to make.
But we do not want to maintain because we haven't for 30 years.
Oh, somebody maintained it.
Well,
Yeah.
so
What is the?
what is maintained mean?
And what was the issue? I mean, I know the question, I was out of town. I know the question came up as,
It's a
What's that?
it's a delineated wetland, correct, Mark?
So it designated well.
Yes. Oh, geez.
yeah, so.
Yeah, so they need to restore. You've reached out to the manager. Do you hear back?
I reached out to the superintendent. They have a new superintendent. He said he had no idea. I could do whatever.
I think at this point, you still gotta let it stay out of there, let it grow back. They've got tee boxes behind it, and those tee boxes, I was looking back on Google, those, looks like those tee boxes have always been there, so. Maybe it was getting a little bit too bushy where people couldn't tee off across it. But the golf course has an easement over the CDD lands for normal course of play and ball finding.
Okay, but they're not gonna do anything again.
So you talking about the area that they cut down?
Yeah, they cut it down.
Yeah. I don't think they
Yeah,
burned
it's
it.
a wetland.
It caught on fire. That whole area caught on fire.
What do you mean caught on fire? They,
When that tee box between on the second hole,
Mhm.
the area between the first two tee boxes and the other two, it caught on fire. It burned down.
It wasn't a controlled burn?
Uh-uh.
Well, they lighting fire, and they just cleaned it up after lighting it.
Okay, but you've talked to them and they know they're not gonna do it again.
I haven't talked to them.
I said yes. Okay. The interlocal and easement agreements, we finally got some comments back from the county. Fortunately, I think you just got it today. We got them, I think Thursday or Friday. They made very few comments. The comments seemed ultimately reasonable. My suggestion were very few changes. The only significant legal change is they want the easement to be in perpetuity and have the interlocal, run for 20 years and be renewed, which makes sense because they want to have the easement in perpetuity to be able to put traffic signs. I don't object to that.
Right.
We had a couple other just really minor things that they put in. I highlighted those in yellow, which would be yellow or gray, depending on looking at the printout. I'm comfortable recommending it get approved with the minor cleanups. And perhaps delegating to chair or somebody else to be able to approve the final clearance once we get it back to the board, or if you want to wait until next month, but it would be nice to get it resolved.
so my question is, did everybody get a chance to read it?
Yeah.
Okay. Right, it was at very last minute, so can we agree to read it? If there's any questions, let's get the question list going to Carrie, and you can send that over to Jan, because there might be,
Yeah, I would like to get any comments as quick as
The
we
end of the
can.
week, or can we have a date like by the end of the week? Or
Well, basically, look at the yellow.
Yeah.
Mine's
look at the
like-
yellow-
There's only a couple of paragraphs.
All right.
Yeah.
So it's really
So if we
nothing.
can get- If we can get comments, let's say by Friday to Carrie, and Carrie can
Yeah.
vote people. and
James just summarized for the change.
Yeah.
Very minor.
yeah, I know you want to read it, so I want to make sure that
Yeah, just.
we don't decide anything.
There's time.
Okay. Any other questions on that one?
Well, what's the action item? Are you gonna have authorization to
We're
send it?
Yeah, we're gonna review it, give you any feedback. There's no feedback. He's got the authorization.
Until next.
Well,
When's that?
Friday. Feedback before Friday.
Oh, that's the, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if there's any issues, we'll bring it back next month,
Yeah.
but if no issues or just minor, would the board maybe make a motion that if there's no major issues or things that can't be resolved, to approve it?
Right, so any board member can go ahead and say, hey, listen, I'd like to talk about this in the board meeting, that's fine.
Yeah, then
And then we'll go, that's automatic, and we'll go ahead and do that.
But the reason I'd like to get it solved if we can is that they're putting plat language in the Island Village plats, the county's requiring it, and we really don't want to have different things in certain plats and different
Yeah.
things overall, so.
Sure.
If there's nothing major, otherwise just call me.
Okay.
So do we need a motion for this?
Yeah, we should have a motion to approve subject to any minor comments to Tom, otherwise,
And to be turned in by Friday.
yes,
And if
And
there's
should there
no
be any-
comments that
then.
chair.
Chair to sign
can
it.
Yeah.
approve the final
All right,
version.
so moved.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? I think you have one more.
This is the Charleston townhomes. We had a resolution back in 2022 that never got finalized because they didn't accept it. And so we updated the resolution and have the conveyance documents, again, the same ones you saw several years ago, if you were on the board.
Same thing.
Same thing, so we just look for the board to approve the resolution 2026.
-12.
Thank you.
Okay. So I move to approve 26-12.
Yeah, second. Any discussion?
Very good.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right, anything else for Jan?
Jan, is
Field
there any
inspector.
update from your
Go ahead.
perspective? Yeah, sorry. Is there any update from your perspective, Jan, on the bridge issue from the last meeting?
No, I've not been involved with the bridge. We talked about it a little bit earlier. It's a proposal and we're looking to the county's inspection.
Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
We had talked
I
about it
didn't catch it.
earlier.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right, moving on to field inspection report.
Any questions that Kyle can speak of?
No, you guys have been very busy. I mean, it's just, there isn't anything you haven't dug up. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Literally.
I mean, I'm literally, there's a lot of repairs going on, so that's. And of course, the hottest time of the year, so really appreciate that. Just update on Water Street Canal. I mean, I know you guys are working through it. Do you have an ETA of completion?
We're waiting on to get some special dirt in. I'm supposed to have gotten a quote today for a dump truck load of dirt. I wish I could just pay with a credit card. But we're going to, we're gonna almost put like a little seawall along there.
Okay.
Where it comes up on like a 45.
Right.
We're gonna do the one side.
Mark, who's the
It blew out a little bit. We packed it with dirt, raised it up with concrete, and it blew out again, went all the way
What's the
around.
pressure?
Yeah, there's no pressure. I don't get it.
Couple feet of elevation, but yeah, I think it's
Just
just.
about a foot.
There's probably,
It went all the way around the thing.
that's all, man.
Yeah, it's like, what the heck?
It's probably just the old flow path just wants to go that way. Those roots from that tree may have created something over time and it's just, once it gets a vein of water flow, it just.
Cat built a really nice wing wall and we thought, okay, that'll work in. It went over the top of the wing wall and then around it. So. Who was the engineer that we met out there or the company?
That was Camcor. Yeah, after it blew out, I was wondering to have them come out, look at it, but I guess you guys decided you will try to tackle it one more time.
Oh,
Trying to save, what was it, $80,000?
Let's try it again. Not with the 80 grand.
Well, that's when I talked to Russ and I think we can,
We can do it. We can do that.
we're just gonna pour a wall, a seawall, actually.
Had we known we needed to do it the first
Yeah.
time, we would have done it the first time.
It was good because when Russ and I went back, we thought we should just do a seawall and then they confirmed pretty much what our conversation was.
And speaking of subcontractor scopes taking over, what's the status on the fence?
You know what? I was just gonna
I
ask
was thinking
that,
about
but I
it.
said I.
Didn't
You open the door.
I know, listen.
It's on my list. I got a quote from a fabricating company to install it ourselves. It's gonna be 11 grand. So then I met a different fence company out there, Jim Williams Fence Co., if you know them. And so they will have a quote to me soon. They said they can have the exact same fence that's there. Green too. I'm just waiting on
Not
it.
fabric.
And you could yell at me from the last meeting or whatever it was, the fence in the box doesn't look anything like out there. And you can't get that in green to start with, so
So
we were trying to save money, but
We would still need a permit though.
no, I don't think so, because it's under. Really?
Yep. And if we install it ourselves, we won't need a permit. I assume Jim Williams will probably have to have a permit, right?
Yeah,
They do.
under us.
Yeah, but we wouldn't.
Did the old permits continue from the previous company? Is that permit still valid or did that?
Wow, that, you'd have to change the
Contracts. Should be able to transfer the permit to a new.
If they came on to do that.
Well, that's a whole nother.
Another conversation, but
Okay.
Trying to save you, Russ, but.
nice job, Russ. 311.
Anything else, fix that field crew? I don't want to rush it. I'm just.
No,
Sure we're not missing anything.
Oh,
You're a young man up front.
we got the light in down in front of Starbucks today.
Yeah, I saw.
Oh, good.
I saw the place.
We got a little bit of concrete to pour around the base. tomorrow when we get a truck.
Well, I
The
saw
side light.
The light was actually up.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
On, working, everything.
So I was like, wow, look at that. I meant to
We,
say something.
actually, it was better than doing some of the light poles like on the, Celebration place. So we blocked the whole road out right there.
Yeah.
So go into the parking lot that way, and you're not coming through here. We pulled out the stair with the backhoe, and Todd had the lawn and set it in there. Thank God it didn't cave in on us. It wasn't wet. Had to dig out just a little bit of dirt. Everything went smoothly.
Very good.
And we have our insurance company chasing them for payment.
There's always chasing. Always. All right, so I think are we a question?
That's good.
District engineer.
Yeah, my monthly report is kind of highlighting the dozen or so things that kind of working on the last month. If anyone has any questions on those.
I'll comment on number 5. The 2 Island Village new plats that are coming through, a couple of comments were not put in the last plat, so it's taking a little more time and effort. And the county has requested right-of-way agreements, and these are different than I've ever seen from Osceola County.
Oh, I've seen.
The new ones, this form, yeah, and they don't work for a government, so it may take some time to figure out how we're gonna get an agreement for us to maintain the parts that we need to maintain. So that will probably come before you.
It's for the irrigation lines underneath the county right away. That's kind of what caused it. Irrigation crossings.
Yeah, they're very
Yeah.
different from their
I
old
don't-
But they're changing the rules now or something?
medium.
I guess they just want a use agreement that CDD is responsible for that irrigation line.
No, duh.
I know.
I've always been responsible for it. Same thing with the utilities, responsible for it.
So anyway, that will just come back to you probably next month.
There's sign your life away.
Not much.
Did you get anything?
We fought it for a variety of reasons, but the county's not budging.
There's a variety of reasons, so we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, the insurance was one of them.
Insurance, some of the indemnities, there's a
Yeah,
couple
right.
other governmental things that. we're gonna
Can't
go.
quite see you all.
Yeah, sure you can.
But you can fight it. We're not gonna win.
We are city.
No,
We're a baby city.
kind of very, very, very big.
But anyway, just to let you know that this has been a lot more work than normal.
You can probably save a little bit if you just contact your brethren at Kutak. They've already fought this fight a couple times.
Okay. That's good. They owe us one. We just got something that's gonna help them.
There you go.
So we're good. Thanks.
Did they ever respond back to us on setting a meeting to talk about all of the plat comments and the county comments?
No. Yeah. They do that, we will.
Chill.
Well, I was gonna say, did we?
Oh, no, yeah, yeah,
We just kind of-
yeah.
a minute you guys
Hey,
walked out.
Wait a minute, I didn't know this was an option.
Only time.
He was highly offended by the
That's
county.
not that bad.
It's stormed off. Stormed off. I'm not taking this.
Yeah, the new middle school soccer coach and tryouts are like, I gotta be there, so that's why I'm ducking out.
Okay, good. That's important. Okay, that was it. I just wanted to mention that this was an issue that you'll see at some point.
Okay, I don't, any questions for?
All right.
Is that a yes?
That is a
I
yes.
saw a finger in it.
I was wondering if it has 2 or 3 fingers. No, 1 finger, which is for the 417 pond. Where are we with that? The big old yellow ball.
Which one is it?
Yeah,
Oh,
I think the last thing was
Okay, see what you can do.
Jan was trying to get the DOT to release some information on who owns, maintains this 417 pond up here at the corner.
Yeah,
And we're
didn't
gonna
get to-
leverage them for giving them
something.
other
There was-
agreements for the,
Yeah, the
right-of-way
information they gave
stuff.
us didn't work really well, but they want some things from some of our other people. So let me see what I can do. We have a new ask now.
I guess my standing question though is that we have confirmed it's not the CDD's pond. Right?
Yes,
And it's not in our permits.
correct. Well, I'll let. You know what?
But we've been maintaining it for 30 years.
And
yeah.
Is it, I thought, is it Crow's?
It's Crow's land.
Crow's land, doesn't the land go underneath? I mean,
There's an easement over it for 417 and DOT or an expressway authority to drain to it, but Celebration Avenue also drains to it, so it does take CDD drainage.
From TCC.
I know there was a couple different easements.
So you think it's dual use, the pond?
Oh, yeah, so
I think it's tri-use.
Yeah. Grove's land, our drainage, and Central Florida Expressway or authority, drainage.
All right. I just didn't want to maintain something that we had no business being in, but if.
And the hospital,
Yeah, there's a couple
cause
easements.
it goes underneath the 417 and drains.
Oh, from the other
Right in
side,
here, yeah.
maybe, yeah, I don't know what comes.
I think when we discussed this, this was the one pond that it didn't make sense to have Crow maintain it, since we already were maintaining.
My thought and just thought would be that, you know, like 30 years ago, 29 years ago, powers to be probably on the CDD probably said, you know, Crow didn't really have anything at the time. We'll go ahead and maintain it.
Well, actually,
What we,
that was given to Crow by TCC. Yeah, they gave that property.
But TCC's never mowed anything out here.
yeah, what DOT said was that CFX gave it to Celebration after they did their.
Well, no one knows
expansion and
that.
Stuff, so, yeah, that they said they thought TCC had it and Berlin didn't want it.
Disney never maintained it, so who maintained it?
We did.
The CCD.
Looks like we do it,
Yeah.
but there doesn't appear to be any permit numbers associated with it. Because it was probably permitted as part of that construction.
Okay. Then, in your opinion, should we be maintaining it? And if so, should we have some sort of agreement in place for access?
Let me read the easements. Let's see, I'm not, there's.
See, I thought we already visited this comment. We all agreed. Since it was just one pond to continue.
I think we did from a practical standpoint, but we need to have some governmental purpose.
That's fine.
We're gonna pay for
That's fine. Let's go through the process.
Yeah.
There's 4 easements. One is from DOT to Reedy Creek, another one's from DOT to Reedy Creek, another one's TCC to Reedy Creek, and the last one's CROA to TCC. And reading through all those, my notes here is that the DOT is responsible unless Reedy Creek or TCC relieves DOT from that maintenance. And whether or not they ever did, I don't know how you find out. I don't know how the work would show that.
Okay, let me pull the DOT easements.
Yeah, I've got those 4, this done
Yeah, I-
sheet,
yeah,
so.
Got my great handy dandy sheets.
Too many sheets.
No, because if we can find something specifically in there that says that, I can get it back to DOT and say, hey, you guys should be maintaining this, so give us.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah. Okay,
Well, and I think that these are good questions because it could be, we might be forced to say, listen. In order for us to, as we're doing all this, in order for us to maintain it, you need to give it to us. We don't want to, okay, then you're gonna have to, it creates a,
That's fine. It's
whatever, as long as it's clear.
It's a bottom end that nobody's ever going to develop. We gave up on doing that, but it's like 7.62 acres.
Well, there is developed property
Yeah, not really.
there. He found.
I had Marsh walked it before. It was
A
down.
lot of floodplain, yeah, we looked at doing some baseball, but it's,
Yeah, we talked about putting a boardwalk there. It's and
well, the boardwalk, yeah. Yeah, you can do that, it's a lot of, there's some floodplain
I
impacts.
don't want to do it. I'm just saying
Expensive.
it's junk land as far as I'm concerned.
well, that's why they
Yeah, it's flood, it's all mostly floodplain, so you'd have to fill and compensate. for it.
Nothing's jumped.
It's junk.
Okay, let me mark the job in front of me. Let me pull those easements and see if we can get some language on the
You're
DOT to say, hey, you said you gave it away, but you still have a.
Dirt to fill a D.
Sure.
Can I confirm from last meeting that the, the item regarding Campus Street and the odor there is dead and buried as far as the CDD is concerned? We have no further.
I think we're done. I mean,
Yeah. It's a county obligation.
we're not involved, setting a meeting, we're not involved in any.
We're not involved in it.
That was
No staff, no
from the
nothing.
homeowners or the county, so I don't know if they're communicating privately and.
Yeah, I don't
it's a-
Good.
I just don't do it at the same time.
Okay, good.
And lastly, the report you had prior, Mark, had those list of 70 exceptions, to-do list essentially. So remind me, is that something that's on our list to resolve in the next fiscal year?
The
Or-
Oh, the
the
annual.
engineering.
Yeah,
report.
annual report.
Russ tries to tackle as many as he can.
It's a nice winter job.
It would be helpful to kind of show what's left on it, so by April, we know if we need to budget for next year. 'Cause we kind of.
Some we may look at,
It was a couple of.
some I have on the list, it's, you know, you've got like concrete pads around the structures.
Which is,
Water's kind of undermined, the pad's kind of settled. I have it on the list. Do we need to fix it? Do we want to fix it?
If we don't
Leave it
need to
as
fix it,
is.
then we need to have something saying we don't need to fix it, otherwise it'll be
Otherwise, we
an
can fix it.
insurance case.
let's just get together,
Well, yeah,
prioritize them.
it's just a splash pad around the structure that's, you know,
Yeah, if you could maybe just go through and either say, if we looked at it, it doesn't need to be fixed.
Or the splash pad, it's always yes. It's that thing, you know, always something with that splash
not
pad.
the splash pad downtown.
Oh,
The splash, like around a drainage structure where the
Oh.
water's out and
Out
strips
in the
down the
woods.
sides. Yeah, around the woods.
too.
There's a concrete pad around it.
right.
Over time, the water kind of undermined it, so the concrete cracked and settled, but it's only gonna settle so far. You know, is it worth the cost trying to rebuild it? I think if anything, you would just throw some, you have leftover concrete shells and just put concrete around it.
Yeah. just if you could. put
Doesn't,
it in the
erosion
same-
doesn't appear to be
no
getting
danger,
worse,
No, yeah, no danger, nobody.
just kind of stabilized. Yeah.
All right, any other questions? All right, thank you, Mark. District manager.
Not on the agenda, but an update and probably as much for you. So I'm meeting Joe from Killowens tomorrow to talk of getting an agreement in place, a long-term agreement for the restaurants.
Okay,
She's very difficult to track down and I've been to her place a couple of times to meet her and she couldn't make it and we just haven't been coordinating our schedules.
She wanted some ice cream.
That's why, because I sit down there and don't buy ice cream.
Bigger than your lives.
Well, we're scheduled to meet tomorrow to try and get
okay, good. 'cause,
something worked out.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Have an associate trying to draft something and I don't know what to tell them to.
Right.
Did we pay for the restroom repair? Or is that part of
I
it?
think
No,
it's
she-
a discussion.
Yeah,
If you
she
don't
paid
have-
for that, but I think that's part
Okay.
of our discussion.
Until we have an agreement, we're not gonna
Correct.
give, okay,
Yeah.
just want to make sure, thanks.
So let's see, sidewalk projects and tree loss.
Yeah, so I can tell you that it was much nicer working in North Village than it has been in Main Village.
I knew it would.
So,
I knew it would.
a number of reasons, like we've talked, more trees, older trees. Maybe older residents is part of it, so.
There's a lot of trees in Main Village. I am surprised. I mean, it's substantially more than any other village.
It's not even that, it's where the trees are located, like,
There's.
you got a 4 foot wide median,
It's
they were
only,
planted 1 foot off the sidewalk. So it's not even in the center of the
and
median.
those trunks have gotten,
Oh, yeah, and you wait another 25 years, I'm gonna be retired,
Yeah.
but.
So we are managing conflict almost every day. Several of the trees, I think Veranda Place, there's 2 or 3 we're gonna lose, but the roots were growing across the sidewalk.
right,
And once you start cutting into it, you kind of get into that root flare and some of the cambium and you're gonna lose the tree.
It is-
Some people
it-
are understanding. Some people are not.
understand. But there's no way to get around this.
No.
There are some trees, I mean, when we get to Water Street, there's some sycamores that are coming down.
So the an interesting discussion, one of the homeowners I met with also has a place up in New York. And they told me they did sidewalk renovations where they had sycamores and they lost every single sycamore. And they're like, what are you gonna do about Water Street? And I'm like, we were having that discussion.
Well, we're gonna have to
I
replace.
think we've already had that discussion.
We already had that discussion when we started this.
Totally, we're gonna lose them all.
I don't know if we'll lose them all. It depends on where we're doing the repairs, but if there's a lot of repairs to be done.
I think we'll lose them all because with the same, you have to put in the same tree in there someplace else.
But you know, the sidewalks don't seem to be as bad as like where the oak trees are at, so. It's not gonna be where every tree's at on Water Street,
Yeah, it's not as bad.
and it's just on the canal side too.
Yeah, and it's a whole battle royale to go ahead and change the tree on that street.
Yeah.
So I don't want to even entertain that.
Yeah, we had an issue today, but once we met with the homeowner and explained, listen, we're replacing all the irrigation, we have an arborist going to feed tomorrow. And then she called us, sent a very nice email, called staff this afternoon. So
Didn't begin that way.
it
No,
did not begin
no,
that.
it didn't.
I just want to make sure everyone is aware that our guys are getting beat up pretty bad, so. Discussion of GoGov policies and procedures, that is a Greg. Addition to the agenda, So I don't know if you want to discuss that, Greg, or.
Yeah, so this came about, I think everybody from the board was getting emails from one of our residents about a sod replacement, which in and of itself was a minor thing, not a big deal. And I think we saw that there was some rationale as to why things were delayed. My concern was, as I started to pull back with staff and just ask some questions as to why there hadn't been notifications. I think where we had agreed as a board several years ago when we looked at GoGov and implemented our procedures as far as notifications to residents, as far as tickets and how our communications going, even that residents who don't use the ticketing system to register things. Apparently now we are not creating tickets and not having those phone calls and emailed requests being put into the system. It started to create concern that outside of this one particular issue, there were some systemic things here that I feel like we've deviated from what we had agreed to as a board when we initially implemented this. So and again, knowing this is my last night, this will be something I think for the board to tackle going forward. But that I look back in our initial, we had a workshop in early 24 after we signed the GoGov contract specifically on this. And Tom, I know you went through obviously the implementation piece, not only from a technology perspective, but also recommending to board a lot of the policy side. We had agreed to every 5 days a resident was going to get an update unless a specific date was set and said, hey, we're not going to do something for 30 days because whatever reason or whatever that is. That's not happening. And that's not me conjecturing that. That's from what Carrie was telling me from the emails. As well as, like I said, the ticketing piece of this, when I asked about, because this one resident and this person specifically said, I don't want to use the ticketing system and I want to call it in, which obviously isn't preferred. We'd like that everybody would use the ticketing, but GoGov does have the capability for taking phone calls and emails and ingesting that into the system. That was one of the selling points and is still there. Apparently that's not happening either. When people do this, we're just working offline with these. And again, that was something that Carrie had confirmed in this one particular instance. So
can I ask a question? Because I can't remember on that particular email. Is this related to sidewalks?
It is.
Okay, so that's the differentiating case. So here's the problem, Greg. We initiate one of the things we did not consider when we're doing GoGov is any major project. Because back then we were not doing like a major sidewalk repair initiative. There is no way to document every little piece when we're doing the sidewalk of grass replacement, irrigation, or it could even be leaf or whatever. Because that would generate probably, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 tickets per homeowner along the way. Even when people called in and said, hey, a sidewalk had to be replaced. And it was like, no, that's part of the sidewalk project. It was part of the sidewalk project. We didn't open up a ticket because we would actually have probably about 600 tickets in GoGov. That's unmanageable. We could not manage that. There's no way to any support desk could not manage 600 tickets. You're not going to do it.
No, and I'm not in disagreement, Tom, but that's not what the case was here. The case was, yes, while it was caused by the sidewalk, which I agree, if that was the case and no resident had said anything and we were just going to replace sod or do whatever we needed to do, that's fine.
Right.
But when a resident specifically calls in and says, hey, I've got this issue, and it may have been caused by a sidewalk thing or it may have been caused by something else. And particularly in this email thread, when you look through it, we had said initially, hey, we're estimating we're going to do this within 2 weeks. Well, 2 weeks after the 2 weeks completion, when we had not provided any sort of update, he emailed again or called again and asked for another update. And the response I got from staff was, well, the update was provided to the board at the last meeting that we were holding off on sod because of the heat, which totally makes sense. I don't dispute that. But the notification to the residents, because they were calling in from a specific issue, regardless of the cause,
right,
that's a ticketable item. on top of the fact that, again, from the conversation I had with Carrie, and I realized Carrie wasn't here when we initially implemented it, was not in context of, hey, when we're doing a sidewalk project, therefore we had some different understandings of the rules or understandings of how we were going to operate. The conversation Carrie and I were having was didn't include any of that commentary. It was specifically, we have not been providing those updates. And when tickets come in by phone or by email, we are not transitioning those into the system.
And you're talking about one individual that refused to use the GoGo system.
Right.
Well,
So
I know there are other residents who call in because we've heard of people calling in and we've had other cases of them doing that as well.
And 90% of the time, a GoGov ticket is created because they ask that we can create a ticket for you. That resident usually agrees. This individual, I don't want a GoGov ticket, refuse to use the system. And it's a one-off.
Carrie, regardless of whether or not that resident wants to do that or not, the agreement that we had with staff was going to create tickets so that we had 100% visibility on the resident requests going through the ticketing system.
But I'm gonna stand firm on this. This was part of the sidewalk project. So whether he called in or not, a ticket would not be opened. Okay, we would not open up a ticket just because a resident calls in, part of this project. We knew the grass had to be replaced. Okay, grass, and maybe there's some slippage in terms of telling that homeowner, because you really should tell a homeowner, we don't know when the grass is gonna be replaced. They're all gonna want a date. So they'll go ahead and say, okay, it'll probably be within 30 days because everybody wants a date. Then you give them the date and then we miss the date for whatever reason, right? It's gonna be an extra week or 2 weeks. And then everybody loses it because it's like, oh, it wasn't done on that particular date. That's not how we operate.
No, I'm
So
not suggesting that's how we
it's
should
partly-
operate, Tom. How we should be operating, though, is we're providing updates to the community. If somebody has asked for something and we missed our own, that was our own date we put out there. That was not a date that this person put out.
So you do realize that staff had to walk with the homeowner, and including the homeowner, they didn't know where the grass had to be replaced once we got the grass, right?
Say that one more time.
We didn't know where to put the new grass down, and even the homeowner didn't know where to put the new grass down because at that point the grass had grown in.
Sure.
It was that small a piece. It was that small piece.
And Tom, like I said, the sod in itself is a minor issue. My concern is the bigger part. And listen, if the board wants to change the policy from what we implemented before, that's the board's discretion to do that. But none of this was part of what we initially discussed. And again, I understand Carrie wasn't here when we initially put that together, but I would have trouble saying that because we caused it, if a resident comes in and says, hey, I've got an issue or a question on something, that we don't update that, or on a self-imposed deadline, we don't come back and say, hey, I'm sorry, we're going to miss the deadline because of X. I don't think that's an acceptable level of communication. If we want to change how we're going to do that through ticketing or email or whatever, we can talk about that.
I think we're going to have to change it because I just don't think that's feasible. I mean, because we've got a lot of places that grass has to get replaced, right? And so each of those homeowners go, I want an update on every little thing. There's no way we're going to be able to operate that way.
Well, I thought you just said he was the only person who had asked this.
I understand that, but as a general rule for this particular project, there are no tickets that are created because it's part of the whole thing. There is a list of all the different areas we have to get grass replaced, right? Each homeowner, we know what parts and stuff that we need for all the irrigation. That's already documented, right? It's just out of all these, one homeowner calls in for this particular project. I think that becomes an exception.
Okay, so let's take it away from this one particular person for a second, and let's take it to the entirety of our operation, because the comments I got back from Carrie were not specific to the one scenario that, hey, because we're doing this is the first time I'm hearing that the reason we didn't do it was because it was part of the sidewalk project.
I've brought this up before several times. It's just the sheer volume of tickets that are coming in is a lot. If we had to go ahead and create tickets, and take North Village, for example, there would be 600 incidents that tickets we'd have to create.
Okay, I think we're talking
Can't be-
past each other here. I'm not suggesting we're creating tickets every time we damage a piece of sod and a homeowner doesn't ask about it. We're in violent agreement. What I'm suggesting is independent of this particular sidewalk issue where my conversation with Carrie had nothing to do with the sidewalk piece. We're now making a different turn there. The comments from Carrie to me were that A, we are not providing updates beyond 5 days, which was the agreement, regardless of whether or not we created the issue or not from a repair. And B, we are not creating any tickets for residents when they don't use GoGov itself, which we all know there are people that are emailing, there are people that are calling. And if it truly is only 1 or 2 people, then it really shouldn't be that burdensome in order to translate those into the ticketing
No, I
system.
agree. I agree with that. We have had residents that actually don't want us to create a GoGov ticket.
This is one of them.
They said, they don't want their information in there. They want their address in there. They do not want to be in the system. I think we've had like 5 or 6, and we're not gonna create the ticket. Now, we're still gonna track it. We still track everything.
Yeah, it's not a GoGov issue. When we use GoGov, it works properly. People get proper updates.
I mean, I think in this case,
guys, I'm going to put it on the table and say when I put in a ticket as Joe resident, I don't get an update every 5 days. Now, does it bother me because there's a light out? No.
5 days.
But I am.
I think we're going to have to I think we might have to revisit it because in some cases, we went through all the different things. Some things are less than 5 days. There's a lot of stuff that's closed out in 2 or 3 days.
Sure.
Lights and different things.
Lights, same day.
Right. But I also think too that given an update every 5 days, which is now as we're starting to see it, sometimes there's a lot of stuff we're not going to give an update every 5 days. So we might have to change. We might have to revisit all this, Greg, because it might not be working the way it is.
Yeah, and Tom, I'm totally fine with that. Like I said, this was me peeling back the onion on what happened to be this one request to find that there were multiple places we were varying from how we initially intended it. And again, whether that's because the workload is there that we simply can't support that and it's unrealistic, we kind of knew that at the beginning that we were taking some stabs in the dark with expected service levels. But I want to make sure that we're able to communicate that with the residents and say, hey, here's what you should expect, and that we're meeting the expectations once we set them.
Yeah, and I think we might have to look at that because there's a lot of things that are obviously not just with projects are taking longer to go ahead and acquire for parts or whatever it is. Every 5 days. Now we can always too, after we revisit this, we can set the expectation with the customer saying we're going to update this after 15, whenever we know we're going to be doing
I think the
work.
default GoGov is 10 days.
Okay, so we have to, we already had an SLA, so we might have to revisit that.
Let me ask you a real quick question. This is on our side. What is Crow doing as far as 5 days and stuff? Are they
I have
doing?
no idea what crud.
They're not doing anything.
No.
I can tell you, I was in GoGov today and I see work orders that are 2 or 3 weeks old.
I have work orders in there. They're 2 months old.
Yeah,
They haven't done
yeah,
anything.
no problems, yeah.
So when we read them, we immediately switch them to open, right?
Correct.
And it's assigned to somebody. On the Crow side, they don't do it because as soon as they do it, it's
do the work.
No, it's not just that. The ticker starts. So when the ticker starts, it's going to show that, we missed all our.
Yeah.
We do it right away.
And guys, listen, I've put in stuff. I'll put it out there as Joe resident with Crow, and it's taken a little while. I will say that and be gentle, but I don't
Mine's
want
4 years. How's your time?
I don't want our measure. I don't want our measure of success to be, hey, we're better than the other guy.
No. We need to focus on what we're doing. So
yeah.
So this is something that we might want to go ahead and we need to revisit and see if we can clean this up. And sometimes it takes something like this to look through, are we hitting it all as we should be? So, and it's been, how long has it been?
And I think this is a good time. I mean, it's been 3 years since we implemented it.
Yeah, so it's a good time to revisit and look at it.
I'm sure if we had an honest heart to heart, there's probably a lot of stuff in there we'd look at and say we can do better and we can't meet this or whatever else. So yeah, good discussion. Or why are we doing it? Yeah, absolutely.
Ask a question. Is Crow starting to pay for their GoGov now?
Yeah,
Yeah. Jack, I just sent an email to Carrie, Angel, and Jan exactly with that because this year is the year they should be paying into it. They had a $20,000 credit, and on an average, their share would have been about $5,600 a year. We're right at the point in this next fiscal year where they're going to need to be piping up. So I sent that to Carrie just to ask him to kind of validate my math. against actuals. And yes, Crow will need to get put on notice along with Enterprise.
So that's when my dues are going up.
It's in their budget. I already met with Lauren and we put it in their fiscal.
Oh,
27.
you're, I'm not getting, I'm not gonna get to that. I'm not getting in the Chrome, but,
Okay.
all right, so Greg, any other thing on that? Cause I think we need to, well, the action is for us to revisit this.
Yeah, that's fine.
SLAs and procedures.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Discussion of vendor contracts.
Yeah, Dave asked to send the spreadsheet out. You have that. Clark needs to be renewed. They can go one more year, we just extend their contract.
So it's an automatic renewal.
It is not automatic on theirs.
Yeah, I want to go through these to figure out where we are. Well, I think I want to start with the first question is that, and I think I know the answer to this, which is we really don't have a policy per se of contracting that it's going to go from this date to this date with this many extensions.
Yeah, every contract is.
It depends on the RFP. Usually it's a 3-year with
Yeah.
renewals, but it depends on the contract. There's no set policy
Yeah, no set policy for that. And
unless we want to do.
And we don't also have a policy that speaks on who gets bid when, or how many bidders or any sort of RFP procedure.
Just that we follow the statutory requirement to bid over certain dollar amounts.
Okay, and what's the requirement for bidding? Statutorily, if we don't have anything specific to the district.
280, I forget what the amount is now. It's a little over 200, I think.
Yeah.
It goes up each year.
Okay, so when that is annually or total contract amount?
Would be annually, because our contracts are all annually. Annual.
Okay. And so then, are there any statutory requirements as far as bidding procedures go?
And we have a rule that's adopted them, yes.
Okay, and that is for all contracts or just for certain amounts that
For
are?
those that are over a certain amount, yeah.
Okay. And that would be number of bidders as well as like a process or
There's
just?
no number of bidders. You just choose the most responsive qualified bidder. I can.
The board gets to vote on that, actually.
If you want to, and the board has the option of throwing them all out. If you only get 2, you can say.
Start over, right? Yeah, well, there's discretion there.
There is no statutory or rule that says you have to have at least 3 or you have to have a certain number.
All right, and the CDD doesn't have any rule that speaks to that as well.
No, our rule adopts the statutory requirements.
Okay. So how are we intending to address each of these contracts as they come up for bid or for when they expire?
Yeah, you'll have to do a formal RFP or formal bid.
So you know what, we're the one line we're missing here on this spreadsheet is the date that we have to put in an RFP. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if we did.
You got it back.
Yeah, I do it backwards. I always do it backwards. How much time? Like Mark and I did for the pond ones, we worked it backwards.
No, I understand that, but on this, there is,
You're right, it's not in there.
so
You should-
I think we add that because then we know, okay,
Yeah.
that's the day we have to have RFP. And then if we know it's gonna be, has to be like 90 days before or 120 days before, whatever.
The other thing on that. Premier should get on our fiscal year. We've been trying to do that
Yes.
because we modified United's, we short-termed theirs before their extension.
So we
Premier,
have to do the same thing. for Premier.
yeah, so Premier needs to get on our fiscal year.
So it has an automatic renewal. When you say that means they can renew unless either party backs out.
Yes, the contract specifically states auto renewal.
Okay, so when we get the automatic renewal, so like in December, the board should decide, do we want to renew for like 9 months to go through September, 10 months?
Because that's what we do with
Year.
United. That's what I'm
If
thinking.
they agree to.
Yeah, get them on the same.
They agree.
Yeah, same, yeah, cycle.
Anything else, Steve?
Well, yeah, this elicited a lot of questions because some.
I noticed.
of it made sense and some of it doesn't.
Yeah.
For like, I'll start the top line, which is it auto renews until we terminate. Is this
Mhm.
perpetual? what does that mean?
It means, like on legal fees, you guys can say you want to look for new counsel.
Okay, so that's perpetual. That's just on a continuing evergreen.
Yeah, until you, yeah, it's just the contract, our rates go based on whatever current rates are, and you can say you
Okay.
want, same with engineer, sorry, Mark, but
Got it. So we had some contracts that expire and some that don't.
yes, correct.
Okay, that's probably worthy of discussion. Why we treat some vendors differently than others.
Well, professionals are covered under different stat.
Yeah, they're different services.
Yeah, CPAs are required under a different statute to bid that out. The auditing services.
And then next line was Clark. And so that's about to expire.
Yeah, we can extend their contract for one more year, and then you'll have to go out for an RFP on that because of the amount of the contract.
Okay. Well, might as well get that on the calendar.
I think it's something in the September.
So that expires, it's an odd date.
Yeah, it's an
End-
odd
End
date
of
on that one.
October.
Yeah, so that's the other
And
question.
so
Right.
we can renew for.
This,
one more-
yeah, we talked
one
about
more
this.
year.
Redo it, aren't we?
Yeah,
One more year.
Yeah, we did do it.
We have one more year,
Yeah,
so
you
we
have one more
probably
year.
would need to go out. You probably want to bid it in the spring, so you have the numbers for the
Yeah, you
budget.
correct. So, but we can renew this in the September meeting.
Yes. I was gonna ask Jan just to update the contract with you, but we'll date.
I want to do it in October. It's way too close to
Yeah.
that then.
And then I think you turn it September 30th of 27th. Yes.
Yes.
So sometime in the spring, we'll need to do an RFP for mosquito control.
So Churchill Fountain doesn't have a contract amount.
We don't have a contract for a fountain anymore.
Self-performing?
They're not getting paid for it either, imagine that.
Was Churchill the splash pad? Is that what that
Yeah.
was? Yeah,
Oh, so it's not the fountain, it's the splash pad.
I know, it should be called.
I know. Well, in certain things, it says fountain, but it's the
Yeah, the
splash pad.
splash pad is being done in-house now. So there is no contract.
Okay, so
I
that's,
want to get rid of that.
we can delete that.
Yeah.
All right, GoGov is also evergreen.
Well, how long does that one go? Do they have a certain number of years? It says auto renewal, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just sent you the contract about a half hour ago. I'll pull it up.
Yeah, and now, I don't really desire to go line by line. I'm just pointing out some of the questions that are coming up as we're going through this in the details. Like when is it? How much is the renewal? How many renewals do we have? Those type of details. And really getting to Tom's point, which is, all right, we need to figure out for each of these, what date do we need to?
That's the push for this spreadsheet. That way we all know,
Yeah.
okay, this renewal is coming up. So many months before it needs to be on the agenda. It needs for us to move forward.
Yeah, and another good piece of information, which you brought up at the beginning, was that there's a threshold over which.
Yeah, I'll
You-
send
you
you
do
the
that.
statutory numbers and for each
Yeah,
one, so you
and
know.
the easiest part here would just be to separate them out, those that are above the line and those that are below.
So
Guys, GoGov already expired and ran out of its term. It went through July 15th of 26, so we are a month and a half past its expiration.
but they're still cashing our paychecks. I just or our checks. So we.
And it's still working when I put a
Yes, yeah.
request.
Carrie said it's already been renewed.
Yeah.
It's already been done.
Yeah, because they sent us an invoice for the next fiscal year.
Oh, okay. So there's a new contract out there.
Correct.
Okay.
So
But
do
we-
we,
Yeah, why don't we next month?
We can
let's
still
put-
update the contract, right, to make sure they're adhering, even though they've got commercial terms, we've got governmental terms they need to be adhering to, that need to be within the period of performance.
Right, and the effective date and all that stuff. That needs to be updated. Right? Because if it's yearly, I again want to know the terms and everything.
Yeah, I had actually updated this. This is not what.
All right, we can find.
Let's just, I think, pull this from, Jasmine had that one a while ago. And then I modified it, but
Okay.
it's not what got put in the agenda.
Why don't you get your modifications and I'll send over to
Okay.
the statutory so you can figure out how to make it work better.
Yeah, we'll reformat it the way that Dave is asking.
Okay. And Dave, I know you wanted the pretty colors here too, so.
Good color code.
Celebration, so we can read it.
Make sure it's in pastels.
Red, yellow, green. Well, that would make sense for some of these that you could put in when you get into a certain time period. You could automatically in Excel do red, yellow, green.
Yeah, based on the data.
Yeah, and then you don't even have to think about it.
All right.
Just looking at it, guys, it also doesn't include, for example, the cameras. That's a recurring vendor contract.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Jack Statue is not here either.
Is it? Where is it?
It's probably on the second tab. We did.
That's a one-time capital expense. We're working on that.
Yeah, we're taking donations. So far, it hasn't been good.
Yeah, where's the in-house golf instructor too? I don't see.
The in-house golf instruction. That was for mini golf. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So
Dave, was your original question on this? Sorry, I kind of fading in and out of my phone here. Was your original question which ones we feel like we should be recompeting? I realize there are several that are below the dollar threshold where we don't have to, and I'll pick on the pond one as an example. But we chose to do it anyway as a best practice. Is that part of your question as to whether or not we should be recompeting all of these, or where were you going with this?
No, what this is a one-stop resource where we're able to identify those that are above the threshold statutorily, where we have to comply with certain bidding requirements, those that are below. And then also for each individual one, what is the inception date? What is the term? How many extensions are there? And when do we need to go to, I'll call it for RFP for lack of a better term, but when do we need it to make a decision on RFP renewal?
Bid,
Whatever.
yeah,
Bid, all that, right?
You may need to correct me, but I have a feeling Brenda Burgess just managed this for 20-some years and nobody else was part of it.
well, now we get to. So you get
Yeah.
to. So that's fun.
Actually, we did a lot in-house with Natasha
Yeah.
on RFPs and stuff. It's not complicated at all.
No. Okay, any questions?
Well, you do have a discussion about USACO and strike.
Well, that's coming up next in the business item, so.
Well,
Good
I
segue.
guess that's my question. And Russ, you bring up a great point. Are we clear as a board as to which ones we are telling staff, hey, go forth and find the right company and make things happen because it's below the dollar threshold versus which ones we're saying we want to weigh in on?
That's what we're working on.
Yeah.
It's a schedule for that, so the board can.
Yeah, we'll have to see this at the next board meeting to see if, when we get into that.
You know, we don't have all the correct information in front of us at this point, so we just need it cleaned up and re-examined.
All right, any other questions on this? All right. Moving to. Any other questions for district manager?
Well, is the US Seal and Strike one's a separate line?
That's a business item.
Yeah, okay, so then. Works, Carrie, if. I know you put out, I asked you about the bats and you put out a little
Yes.
thing, is there any update in regards to looking at those or anything?
I don't know, Russ, did we look to see, I don't think any of them are occupied. At my last conversation, well, I think it's Dr. Johnson was her name, and she's like, you're probably not gonna get them to move, they're not looking for a new home, so.
Take a little for sale sign available.
And she said your best bet is now that you're past that window, and then you can move them, residents need to start having them relocated.
And that's what's happening, eventually all the holes will be plugged and have to go somewhere.
Yeah. So my neighbor.
I've got a note here from last time, I believe, on the condo service area sidewalk responsibility. And I don't remember exactly what that was about.
You could have
So-
taken better notes. I'm sorry.
At least I'm taking notes.
In Crow's initial charter, they said condos associations are responsible for like cleaning their sidewalks.
Yeah.
They updated the charter, I want to say 2 years ago. And that just got left out. Inadvertently left out. I don't think anybody realized it until there was a lawsuit filed. Somebody slipped on a sidewalk in Artisan Park. They named everybody Infomark, ECVD, CDD. I pulled up the charter and I said, here's a charter right here. Condo association is responsible for maintenance. Lawsuit went away. Their lawyer came back and said, no, here's the updated charter and that information is sent in there.
So that got changed, number one, without our knowledge. At the time, when CJC Disney was running it,
Mhm.
their attorneys had to go ahead and look at the charter to go ahead and approve it. So this is something where I think we need to go back to Disney going, how did this happen? Because this is not consistent with anything else.
Yeah, so I had a conversation with John McGowan.
Yeah.
He does serve on the enterprise board. He's actually the one that drafted
Yeah.
the language in that original charter. He's like, no, it's in the charter. I'm like, well, it got updated and that paragraph doesn't, and he said completely inadvertent. Crow really needs to go back and update the charter and put that back in there.
So on their document, it's in there.
In
It
the
is not
original.
in there. It's in
It
the
was in-
initial charter. It is in there. And when they updated it, it just inadvertently, it wasn't like, let's take that out. So it's not their responsibility anymore.
Who updated it?
Let me ask, are you talking about the charter or the supplemental declaration for the condo? Because that's two different documents.
Yeah, the
Or-
charter hasn't been updated since 2020.
Right, we
Gary and I can
updated the
attest to
charter,
that.
and I don't remember removing that, but are you also talking about that one-page responsibility list of things that each person, homeowner or condo is supposed to do? Which document are you talking about?
So the one that I had, that information on was in the original charter.
The charter itself?
Yeah, because I had,
Mhm.
I went through it with Lauren, actually,
Right,
and then she gave me, okay, it's this paragraph that says that, that's what we provided the lawyer.
Yeah.
And then they have a new lawyer that says there's an updated charter in that, or it got updated at some point and this language isn't in there.
we updated the charter in 2020. And I was chairman of the committee. I don't remember removing that.
Laura said it must have been inadvertent. She said no one intended to remove it.
So they need to put it back.
Yeah, and that's what John McGowan said. If it was left out, it was.
We went through it multiple times with lawyers. I would have remembered if we took that out.
Yeah,
Can
Gary,
you
I'm
show me the
with
document?
you, and I'm thinking this is not the CROA charter. This is either
Yeah.
a service area charter or some other sort of supplement. Because
Right.
I want to make sure we're looking at the right document. The charter for CROA would not have that in there. When we had these challenges before, about 2 or 3 years ago, around service areas maintaining the verges, it ended up we had to dig into the CCNRs for each of the deeds for each of the property owners, was where it said, hey, you need to maintain the verge areas, including the sidewalks. So I kind of feel like this is exactly the same thing that happened a year ago, where CROA said, hey, we're not going to maintain the trees. Well, you've been doing it for 25 or 30 years. Even if you have the right to do it, you now can't just unilaterally do that without talking to us and without announcing it. Whether it's a service area or not, they all fall up under CROA.
I know it's not the supplemental declarations for the service areas because we didn't touch those with a 10-foot pole, so that didn't change. I think what we're talking about is there's a 2-page handout that CCMC did, and then Grand Manor's updated, to my dismay, that lists responsibilities of maintenance for homeowners and for CROA service areas. And they changed that document.
Well, we didn't approve
What
that.
did, well,
Well, you
what
didn't.
did the lawyer show you? You have a copy of.
I haven't seen anything.
Okay, why don't you?
Oh, they don't know.
Why don't you ask whoever provided something showing it was missing to get you a copy of that, so that we can dig down and figure.
I can send you, because Lauren sent me and it says charter right on the document and highlighted it and
Yeah,
then
I want to see.
the lawsuit got resurrected, I don't know, 6 or 7 months later, and so we have documentation that said this is no longer valid. Tom and I talked about it, John McGowan happened to be here then, I looked at John, so.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I'd like to see it too. Because I was chairman of the committee, didn't touch that.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah, I really want to see where this is, because if it's just on that list,
That list,
that means they changed it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that doesn't mean
the list,
hearing to that.
the list got changed and I didn't like it, but they didn't fix it. Sorry.
Question.
If you didn't get your question answered, Dave, you just generated 3 or 4 more questions.
Yeah, but it's important, so.
So stays on the list. That's what happens.
All right, moving on, business items. Consideration of resolution 2026-11 goals and objectives. These are
the 2027, the statutory requirements that you have goals and objectives.
the normal.
It's, yeah, that you're complying with all of its law, legal.
It's on time.
All right, so I have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Said aye.
Okay. There's a delay on Zoom.
Yeah,
so
there
I
is.
apologize for that. And Greg, when you interrupt, you're not interrupting. There's that delay. I hate it.
That's a good quote. When you're interrupting, you're.
Well, he's not, because I'll say any other questions and then I'm ready to move on. He goes, hey, and I'm like, no, it's the delay. So,
Yeah, Jerry was doing that.
I'll
Jerry
interrupt
was doing
faster
that.
next time.
yeah. You need to push that buzzer. Push the buzzer. All right, so next one, consideration of USA Seal and Stripe street sweeping agreement.
Yes, Jeff sent us a proposal. So, he has a increase in there to 3,000. He's asking for a 5-year contract. So he actually sent it to me right before the last board meeting.
Oh, that's right.
And I was like, no, we're not gonna consider it until after the budget is approved, so. His math is a little off because he said it's a 6% increase, or what do you see is, yeah, it's about 6.
How much was it in the last contract?
We were paying 2832.50 per sweep, and he bumped it to 3,000, 167.50 more per sweep. We budgeted for it. That money is already in the budget.
Okay.
I guess the question is, do you want to extend a 5-year contract? And he is asking for the opportunity for a 2.5 escalation.
Well, at least he's doing it. And well, the 2.5 is if fuel prices increase type of thing. And at least he's putting it in there, because we've had those situations where people don't put it in there and then we're like, no. So I think from a business standpoint, that's fair. Well, we need a motion on
Anyone
this.
else does this?
What was that?
Is there anyone else?
We haven't been very successful with other people.
Yeah, that's,
And we've been through, in the time that I've been here, 3 different ones for
You know,
enterprise, and he is not doing enterprise.
what would be the cap per year that is going up?
Yeah, your budgeted is 108.
Yeah.
And if he's doing 3,000 per sweep, it's 102,000 per year. So there's money in the budget to cover his request.
That's below the threshold.
Yeah.
Yes.
Way below.
Yeah.
I moved to approve it.
To motion approved. Do you have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? No.
Just clarification, that's a straight 5 years, or is it 3-year with a?
That's a
Phase
that's a straight
Yeah.
5-year.
5 years?
did we
requesting
approve
5
the
year.
5 years?
We approve straight 5.
Okay, 5 year. Okay, got it.
So if you just want to update his and get it from.
Happy with it.
I do think he does a good job, and it's very challenging because everyone wants him to do more stuff for free. And at least we have his back on that one. But it's true, right? When the leaves come down, I mean, this is cleaning the streets, the curbs is a challenge. And I don't think we can do a great job because there's too many cars, but this is really for leaves,
Yes.
right? This is really when they collect too much. So
Yeah, if you don't know the current cycle, he does 4 sweeps a month, January, February, March, April, October, November, December. And then one a month, May, June, July, August, September.
And somebody complained, I guess, that he was working on this is funny. He was working on the weekend because he couldn't go on one day during the week. And how dare he work on the weekend to go ahead? I'm like, guys, come on now.
This is great.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So they're actually meeting their schedule.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
So that was not a negative in my
Yeah,
mind.
we never publicized, but he had been doing courtesy sweeps in
Yeah.
Island Village for us because there's so much construction traffic. He goes, I just blow through there, once a month or so, or whenever I get a chance.
Yep.
It's great.
No, it is great. Motion to approve the consent agenda.
With your,
Yeah, so
wait,
Yes. Oh, meeting minutes.
there's only two items.
yeah, no, it's thinking something else. Well, Mike Nunes had asked us a question.
He did, and we actually need to table that. We need Jan to do a little bit of research on whether we can do that.
Our event policy would prohibit that as written, so we need to tweak that a little bit. So we can do it.
Yeah,
I was gonna try and squeeze it on this agenda, and then when I had a conversation with her, she goes, I need to do a little research and figure out how.
Yeah, we have to figure
When
that
I
out.
read it, isn't gonna quite fit in the event policy the way it's written.
Okay.
He did send
What was
a
the
map.
request?
They want to expand farmers market and put a couple of booths on CDD property. So he did send a map today, and I think there was like 6 or 7. 2 are actually way down by the hotel.
Right.
And then there's 4 or 5 or 6 underneath our 2 pavilion areas there.
It didn't look like anything blocked the right of way. People can still have movement. I think there's considerations for ADA type stuff. So
That
that'll have to be
was my
addressed.
initial question was.
But it's growing. It's becoming one of the largest
In the state.
Yeah.
in the state.
And it's a short-term request. It's during the holidays when they close the streets down and expand it for the holiday
Right.
celebration. And then after that, they would go back to their normal farmers
Right.
market.
But
Okay,
again, we gotta make sure we're all.
all right, so, I'm sorry.
So I had a motion, if you have a motion to approve the consent agenda. Approve it. All right, we have a second?
Okay.
All in favor? Aye. All right, here's the magic time. Board of Supervisor request and comments.
But we can't have any more.
True.
That's not true. Oh, section A, Dave, Dave, section A, 9A.
You want me to go first or last?
Oh, you go first, you go first. I'm
I'm tired of it, Dave.
Yeah. Uncle Buck, what's your record for questions that you asked?
So first question is, I believe we all got our property tax notices and trim notice.
Yep.
I did not see the CDD on it like I had previous years.
That's not true. That is absolutely not true. It doesn't appear until the tax bill later on.
Let me
You don't get
say
it.
this again, Mr. Chairman. I compared my trim notices
Yeah.
from previous years to this year. I do.
The preliminary?
Yes.
Oh.
I was on the years before, and so that
Don't
prompts
hate
my
that.
question, why
Yeah.
is it missing from our trim notice this year when it was on the other?
That's a county issue. We have had numerous phone calls and emails about that.
Oh, really? Okay.
So the trim notices that I have when I went online, those are the final ones that I see. And that's when the tax bill gets
That's
rolled out
you
in
get,
November.
absolutely.
Right, that's that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I asked
We did
that.
in November.
Yes,
Yeah.
you get another one in November.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you got paid in November, right? What? You have a hand up? Oh,
What? Oh,
does this mean you want to talk about this?
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I actually had the same observation and I called the county and called the tax assessor's office and talked to both the chief of staff as well as the person who does the special districts, blah, blah, blah. And he said he had no record either from CCDD or Enterprise this year of receiving any of the information. And I sat there on the phone with him for 15 minutes while he went through records. It's not an end of the world, but I would, and I don't know if we missed something on our end, which he seemed clearly to say, hey, we, the county, just didn't receive anything from you this year. But I definitely think, to Dave's point, I mean, because I was getting questions from, I didn't even notice, and I was getting questions from other residents as to, am I not paying CDD fees this year? No, you certainly are. I'd like to make sure we're doing what we need to do to get that on the trim notice, because people expect to see that.
Yeah, we definitely need to get an answer on
They
that.
did. Brenda reached out, they confirmed they received it. I don't know why it didn't.
So can Brenda reach out again and get the names?
Yes.
Craig, can you send the name that the person you talked to Carrie?
I will pull
Let's
up
get
the
to the
chief-
bottom of this, because
Yeah,
if
I'll
they
pull
say
up
they
the chief
didn't,
of staff and the other guy I talked to. I didn't,
I
it wasn't emails, it was phone calls, but let me see if I can backtrack them.
Yeah, Brenda's the one I had the conversation with, and Brenda called me back, she goes, nope, they've got everything, I've already confirmed it, it'll be on the November.
well, let's
I'll follow.
more to follow.
Okay.
We need an answer on that.
The budget just got sent in, didn't it?
All right. Next topic is, if I heard correctly, this is the final meeting for our esteemed supervisor.
That's coming up.
Mr. Vilak. Yeah. It's coming. Will you let me finish?
You know, I'm gonna keep doing it because I love to see the reaction.
So what I was gonna say, Mr. Interruption, right? Okay. So is that, will we have any gap in coverage from a liaison perspective is something that we need to discuss today?
What do you?
You will want to appoint a CROA and Kanoa representative, especially since they were asking last meeting, because I have not been able to make the past few meetings because of summer travel and other activities.
So I would think we'd have to do that at the next meeting. Shell isn't here. And then Gary will be on board, so we'd have everybody actually make that decision. Otherwise, we have to make the decision with us three.
Well, then we have a gap.
Well, if somebody would like to attend for a site cover meeting.
They can just attend.
Gary attends.
You're no volunteer.
Unofficial.
You're
You
not
will be.
official. You can-
Sit
But
down.
will you be there?
I'll be there.
Well, I just,
He's always there.
just so you know, just to be clear on your gap of coverage, I'm looking at the Crow representative for the last 6 months.
They've never had.
Okay, so-
Prompted this question.
I'm just saying, we have a reason why we have a gap of coverage. They don't.
No, they don't.
So I asked Gary when he came in, I let him know that this was Greg's last meeting, and he told me I didn't agree to get on the work till November, so now you might have a longer gap, I'm not sure.
No, I didn't say that. I just said I'm surprised. I thought it was gonna be November. I didn't say I didn't agree.
Well, Greg won. And he's gonna be busy, and he's got the sniffles. So.
All right, so then we'll at least know Gary's planning to be there
Yeah, I'll be there.
for. Well, and Greg's the liaison for, what'd you say you were? Roa and Kanoa?
I can't
Yeah, it's
speak for
been
you.
CROA, Kanoa, and CJC was what we had agreed to when we kind of reshaped this about 2 years ago. I have not been to a Kanoa or a CJC meeting. I think I listened in on one. It's been primarily CROA because a lot hasn't been happening on the other ones.
All right, then we're covered.
What? That should have a few more.
More? I can come up.
No, I don't want you to create more. I don't have anything. I'll save my question to the end. You go ahead.
No, I expressed my disappointment earlier that Jerry has failed us again. I know he had a problem getting here, but how many months now we asked for data and I've got nothing.
And so I reached out to him probably 4 times, probably once a week since our last meeting, asking for that. Asking about Halloween coverage, as you know, we're not going to fund it. I'd really like to know what the county's plan is. He never responded to me.
Well, my questions to him would have been, you know, I know we don't have a burglary or a criminal problem in Celebration, but we do have a traffic problem. How many tickets and citations, written warnings were given in Celebration in the last 3 months? I'm going to say probably not very many. But I see a lot of people running stop signs, running red lights and speeding. And obviously the kids, and I'm saying, what kind of enforcement are we getting here? We're just getting lip service? And that's what I think we're getting.
Yeah, I asked Blackman's executive assistant if he could attend a meeting before the end of the year. Calendar year.
And
No,
I thought Major Guevara was supposed to be here tonight.
Guevara never responded. I reached out to him twice.
So this is just confirming for me that the fact that we took the deputies off the budget was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
It really has been the right thing to do because
They're not supporting this.
They're. Yeah, I just,
I will tell you, interesting conversation. Some of the deputies that were on those shifts came and talked to me and they were gonna file a union grievance because Blackman never talked to them about cutting overtime and they thought they had a case to file a grievance and no one had a conversation with them and I'm like, not up to you. So,
Well, and the last thing I want to talk about is I want that traffic light there, campus and the library intersection. This is just, we've gone on for many, many years.
well, and
probably 15
I've
years
seen
now.
them testing a few things going on there. But
Yeah.
it does, go ahead, sir.
You got all these yahoos over here at Celebration Place that are taking weeks at a time to put a traffic light in. And well, we're gonna get 2 more traffic lights there by the
you're
hospital.
getting two at the hospital.
What a joke.
Yeah, their traffic study, I don't remember, what was it? 10,000, an increase in 9 or 10,000 vehicles per day once they get the tower and the medical building. That's what their projections were. I have a hard time believing there's gonna be that much traffic, but
It's a math exercise from a traffic engineering perspective. They just add up the square footage or units that are.
and that's what that
trips.
See, I take it at how long it takes for me to find a parking spot. I don't even care anyway. I'm like, oh, there's too many people here. And then this is gonna be something.
Yeah, well, I mean, Jack, to your point, you're asking for a refresh on the traffic study whenever that's developed. I think that would be the first.
I want them to be out here at 5 o'clock every afternoon.
Yeah.
Tell me that they won't have a problem.
Well, they always show up when it's not busy,
Well,
so it doesn't help.
yeah,
8:45, 9 o'clock in the morning.
and we have a problem with Disney traffic leaving.
Yes.
I mean, it is a nightmare leaving. You go watching Celebration Boulevard as you're on westbound or eastbound, and you see people making left turns out on the middle lane, left turns. I mean, it's just crazy stuff.
That's why I come to the CCDD meetings. I don't have to see that. Just come here.
Okay.
Yeah, I stood on the corner waving to everybody for 2 weeks. I can tell you
Yeah.
exactly how many cars there were.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't have school in then.
No, he was there. He was there when school let out.
Yeah. No.
Oh, I sure was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Were you there when it's, see, you don't really see when it started because people come at different times. When you leave, everyone leaves at the same time. And that's when you just see the improvement.
There's gonna be an accident because people don't wait at that stop sign. They go straight into the library and then just go right around and make a right-hand turn. They don't stop at the right-hand turn.
What?
Is that how they speed it up?
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
Rather than wait to make that turn, they don't stop. They come right down, run the stop sign half the time, pull into the library, make the turn and then go back.
It's a roundabout.
I can attest to that because I was
Like a
waving at them
roundabout.
because
They just,
I
That was the
I thought
last
they were all.
discussion there, I think, was a roundabout.
yeah.
Anything else, Jack?
On the traffic light.
I was thinking hard.
I want a gold plated statue.
Yeah, you'll get it. It'll be game board size. Greg, do you have anything?
Well, yeah, one question, just kind of piggybacking on that, a more immediate thing is with the county's cuts in budget for next year that they are already anticipating the Amendment 3 going in. Do we know if they are funding? Are we already past the window where we're going to be okay to get that turn lane onto World Drive, or is that now at risk? Or do we know?
It is scheduled for their next fiscal year, which is already set and is not impacted by Amendment 3, which would be for the next fiscal year.
Unless they push it off and
Well, they could find a way
they
to.
could find a way to, yeah, it's approved until it's not.
Yeah, the last email that Dave got in response to was they'd already contracted with someone. They were starting in the beginning of their next station.
But they've still not provided anything as to legal descriptions,
No.
title, or anything about the actual property they need.
No.
I would just suggest any way we can motivate
survey.
that, because if we fall into the next fiscal year, especially if Amendment 3 passes, but even if it doesn't, I can imagine the county's going to look for any excuse they can not to do that.
Well, last year is when they budgeted for this upcoming fiscal year, so we're still on track.
I mean, the traffic, and it's not just the right turn lane, because the right turn lane also is subject to adding the next left turn lane, going from Island Village. And let me tell you something, that whole thing is a freaking nightmare. I just can't believe it's been taking this long. It's unfortunate. It's been expected. Anything else, Greg?
Yeah, the only other one I had was I did bring up with Carrie and Jan, as far as I brought up over the past couple meetings, our sidewalk policy. And I understand from the last email from Carrie and Jan was, and I'm paraphrasing here, but we're keeping it in place because it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. But I'm concerned we have a policy in place that it looks like from day one was never enforceable and not actionable because we can't collect the stuff that we're supposed to have as collateral. We're not getting contacted by anybody. We've got a policy that's not doing anything.
Well, it is doing something. So one of the things it does is it's now forcing CROA to go ahead and give us a list of all the ARC approved areas, and we do have staff checking those out. So if there's any damage to sidewalks, we're able to see that.
Yeah.
That's a big win.
Well, I think the conversation that we had was there's costs involved to modifying that. You know,
Does the board, because it's adopted as a rule, it would have to be set a rule hearing, change the rule, advertise, and then revise it if we want to revise it. But the question is, does the board want to go ahead and do that? I mean, I agree, it's better to have it there because it gives us some ammunition to be able to go after somebody.
I was gonna say.
And now that you're doing
language when I said
Is it enforceable if we're only enforcing it some of the time, or is somebody going to come up and say, show me where else you do this?
It's enforceable, I think, when, well, you should
Yeah,
answer this. But
It's been recorded. It's in the title for anyone that acquires property to know it's there. I believe we sent it to all the townhomes and now, I mean, the issue we've had on the one incidence we tried to collect is we didn't have enough data to be able to show the before and after, but now Infomark's put in a policy of going around doing regular inspections, so we should be able to enforce it.
yeah, and at that, I think is when it's enforceable, when we see the damage.
Yes.
And now we can enforce it.
Yes.
No damage
Well, but
is
now-
nothing enforceable, right?
Well, but that's not really enforcing that policy. At that point, the policy was just for a deposit. We're not going back to somebody afterwards and saying, hey, give me the deposit. We're coming back to somebody and saying, hey, you broke my sidewalks, you owe me X number of dollars. That's
So,
just a
well,
claim.
So how much does it cost to change this? Was it 1,600, 1,800?
Probably by the time we advertise it.
Yeah, you're probably a couple of grand.
So if you want to take away the deposit,
What is the fatal flaw we're trying to correct?
No enforcement.
that,
How do we have,
that people aren't asking for the deposit, I guess we aren't paying the deposit.
then we just ask for the deposit? Is that the solution here?
But if
There's
they,
no mechanism for us to do that.
but
I
even
get,
if we ask
guys, I
them,
guess my
they don't-
frustration is we when we talk about the cost of this, we went through the cost of initially implementing this, all the numbers we just rattled off, but we put into place a policy that respectfully staff asked us to put in place that we've never been able to enact. I mean, we can leave it in place and just sit there. You're right. It's not doing any harm, but it's not addressing the root problem that we were trying to tackle initially. We're still now going back after the fact and saying, hey, you owe me money because you broke our sidewalks. And I'm hoping that our staff was able to catch things. Yes, it's good that CROA is now notifying us. We could have asked CROA to do that independent of this policy and said, hey, can you please add us? And I kind of guess they probably would have done that because there's they're not under any obligation to do with the policy in place. But I'm frustrated that we've got a policy in place that we're just looking at saying we really can't do anything with it, but maybe we'll use it at some point. We're trying to address a specific problem that's still causing issues. People are bahaing our sidewalks all the time. They're doing it out right across from Heritage Hall now with gigantic forklifts or cherry pickers to do the roofing, and I'm sure nobody notified us.
Correct. We got notification from CROA that that's happening.
I think it's on the ARC report. The guy leveling his house on Long.
Going Long Meadow,
Yeah, we don't have that on it.
but
Yeah.
isn't that ARC?
Yeah, but that definitely would be.
That would be ARC.
Yeah, and it's not on, I went back and looked. There's nowhere that's on there, and he's starting like in a week or so. I only know because he came in and talked to us and he said, you have my sidewalk marked, don't replace it because I'm tearing my house up.
Right.
Well,
Okay, so I was under the assumption that we're getting all,
They do a pretty good job, but
well, that's not a good job. It's a whole house getting replaced.
Yeah.
That's not a good job.
Did we ask for a deposit when he came in?
And also like at Greg's point, there's two cherry pickers And I mean, they're going over the sidewalks left and right. Now they put the plywood down and everything else, but they're still going over it and we were not notified. You know,
That's Kyle, you didn't. I don't remember seeing that because usually I give them to you and then you do.
I didn't see that. They've got both sides of the road locked off.
Yeah, they're doing all the condos down
that should be one that we should get notified. So, all right, so maybe in the next meeting, we're gonna have to. I mean, again,
Tom, I'm not suggesting we scrap the policy by any, I
No,
want to go
no,
the other
but
way. I want to
there's-
make it actionable. It's just, it's not working.
Well, I think we had tried, we had hoped Crow would give people going to ARC, say, okay, now you need to go to the CDD to get
They,
this
they
done.
do that if people have been ignored, because I've asked them and they're like,
And
yep,
they don't.
we provided it to them.
But they're like, we can force them to do anything with it once we get
yeah,
it.
but
We can't ask ARC not to issue the permit without,
we can't. They said we're gonna issue that, whatever. But then my other concern is we're not getting all the information for Crow either.
Well, it's bad enough if we're not getting it from a homeowner, but we've asked Crowa to get it from the homeowners to give to us, and we're not even getting it from Crowa on their own
Well,
stuff.
what's funny in that same area, Greg, a little bit further towards your place, when they did the roofs there, Go give us a video and lock the whole area. And said, here you go, let us know if there's any damage after we're done. So if that's Crowa now where they're working, I don't know why they didn't do the same thing, because they even did it at,
So you need to meet with.
I mean, that's a service area. It ultimately legally falls up under Crowa, and that service area did not put out that contract because I had some people complaining about it arbitrarily. That was Crowa that put that out.
Well, and all the service areas falls under, well, those townhomes, they're their own service area.
Yeah.
So that we should be getting those updates.
So is the
let's
issue
put a
that,
copy of it on the next agenda or I'll send it to everybody so you can look at it and see what you think might help. I
well,
mean, the biggest thing is just getting notice to people and requiring them to let us know, which
so
is hard to do.
let me ask two quick questions. One is when we do get notified from Crow/ARC, what is our process? We go out there and take a picture?
Yeah, Kyle actually does
I
report.
take a picture of every sidewalk,
Yeah,
Okay,
every
and
panel.
it's just like a site on it.
okay, so that's number one, which is acceptable. But number two is we're supposed to be collecting a deposit.
Yeah, should we leave a notice in their mailbox? Or
Right.
can we leave a notice in their mailbox? That's
No, we have to mail it.
federal property, yeah.
Well, we can,
We could stick it on the door, tape it.
we
on.
can do it. Should is a different question, but I think we can.
We'd have to mail it. I don't think you can go to somebody's mailbox and do that.
Well, you could put it on their door, you can't put it.
Oh,
on.
but then we get yelled at that
Yeah,
if they're not home.
Yeah.
then there's no confirmation that they
Right.
received it.
Jan, this may overcomplicate it, but I'm just trying to think out of the box. Is there something we could do as far as an agreement with the county that county code enforcement would enforce it on our behalf?
I would doubt it. They are so sparse at this point that they aren't even responding to their own problems.
I would not rely on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah, well, you lost me at county, Greg, just so you know.
No, trust me. I had a hard time spitting it out without laughing at
Yeah,
myself.
we've tried to get them to help on some other
I think
things.
we're gonna have, because for me, there's two problems, the enforcement of the $500, which I don't think we can enforce it. And then it's also getting the information from Crow that if it's gonna miss these giant projects. It puts us at risk for the sidewalk repairs. That's my big concern, right?
Right.
I mean, I think the easiest thing to do, although Crowa was resistant to it and I sort of let it go, but maybe we need to re-engage it, is if ARC will not issue the approval from Crowa until we acknowledge to Crowa that they have either signed the paperwork or done the deposit or whatever else. Now, Crowa initially told me they didn't want to have us as part of the cog in the wheel. They're only going to be responsible for their own stuff. But that seems the most logical way to do this is try to talk them into not issuing their approval until we give them a thumbs up.
We might have to revisit that. So.
I know Crow is on.
Well, if I was Crowa, I would ask, well, what's your thumbs up? What is CDD evaluating?
That
Trying to
somebody has
prevent-
followed the policy by noticing us that they're doing the construction, and if we're going to keep the deposit thing in place, which I'm hearing separately from staff, even if everybody was following the rules, we don't have the mechanisms to take deposits.
Right.
But if we can, then we would want the deposit in place.
To prevent everybody paying for damage caused by something ARC approved. Is the sort of bottom line.
All right, so this is a whole, I mean, we're not gonna solve it tonight, but I think this is gonna be a lot of discussions with their staff and to.
In a couple of years that I've been engaged, we've only had one incident. And that was in North Village. I think they put a pool in and they cracked the sidewalk and I just stopped them and I'm like, this needs to be repaired.
Right.
And it was repaired. They did it. So.
Yeah. No, and I get that, but the reality is now we have areas that we don't even know they're working on. And it's massive.
I mean,
Yeah.
And Carrie, and Carrie, I respect that, but I mean, I'll also say that the reason the board put this in place was because staff asked us to do it, and rightly so, because we had a lot more than just one incident. I mean, this was from what Russ had been telling us from the first few years I was on the board with Jack, that this was a repeat problem that was worthy of a formal rule.
Let's all think about it and put it on the agenda next month. I'll send you all a copy of the rules so you can look at it.
If somebody did give you a deposit, we can put it in an escrow account.
Or if it's a check, you just don't cash the check.
No, you have to cash the check.
Yeah.
You have to cash the check because you have to have the money, otherwise what's the point of the deposit? Right, I mean, you gotta cash it immediately.
Yeah, I think our conversation centered around, so we can modify the fee structure, how we did that. So.
All right.
Did you just finish with your talking about?
Oh, no, I never got to my section.
Yeah.
You never got to my section.
You froze?
Well, I got my last. Why can't I get a board of supervisor comment?
You know,
Comes Dave and Jack in everything. Greg, do you have anything else?
No, sir, I'm done.
All right. Well, you really are done. And I could read the whereas here to whatever, which I will definitely get to you. But I did want to thank you for your years of service, because 2 terms is a hell of a lot of years. And listen, you started the whole increase to get us in the black. And that was a lot, because I don't think anybody wanted to go ahead and face that in this community. And we had to. So you were definitely the lightning rod in them. I know you're going to have, a very adventurous 4 years on the school board, because there's a lot of stuff going on, both, in the state and locally. So I do wish you well. And hope I'm sure you're ready for the challenge. But I think it's going to be something that that a lot of people in Celebration are going to be looking to you for direction on that. But I do thank you for your service, because I think it is service. It is a lot of work to be a go-to person in this community, and also to, go through the myriad of processes that we seem to have or don't have trying to get things done. So Greg, I do really thank you for that. I don't know if anybody had anything to add.
Jack, you got anything to say?
Been 6 long years, Greg. Congratulations.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. Honored to be able to call you a fellow supervisor, and most importantly, a friend, Greg. You've been a bulwark for the community, a foundational piece, always looking out for the best interest of our constituents, which is asking a lot, and you met and exceeded that standard. So here to you. Best of luck in your future endeavors. We'll miss you.
We'll know where to find you.
You get a C on Saturday for poker, Dave. Jesus, I'm not dying.
Hey, Greg, who's gonna call me now?
I can still call it. I can still call you. You just can't put it on the district show anymore, man.
She's gonna charge you, Greg.
Well, let's see you get the motorbike thing passed for Osceola. That's your #1 goal.
Along with all the other issues that are going on, right? That's always the trick. So I didn't want to leave this meeting without saying thank you, because I know you're not here. But I thank you for participating, and I hope you get better quick. Geez, must have been some party.
Appreciate it. Yeah, no, I wish it was a party. It's COVID strikes again, so it's what it is. No, I appreciate it, guys, and certainly been an interesting almost 6 full years. And the goods, the bads, the uglies. Certainly, everybody wants to come on a board and be able to find things, or leave things a little bit better than they find it. So I feel like we made some progress, and Jack was my wingman there from the beginning of coming in when we both came in 20, and it's just small steps. I feel like we're in a better spot, and there's certainly some more challenges and certainly a lot of opportunities ahead for the district and the community. So I appreciate the opportunity to work with everybody and just try to make things a little bit better. So best wishes, and yeah, I'm not going anywhere. I'll still be bugging you guys. So all good.
Thank you, Greg. I appreciate it. And on that note, I have nothing else. Any public comments? Please.
Yeah, Gary doesn't have anything. So I leave Monday morning for Alaska. I am gone for 15 days.
Yes.
I come back, I'll be back here the 15th. Very remote, limited.
You're starting to get
access.
choked up too. I'm noticing that you're getting choked up there.
Yeah, limited access to phone and email.
You gonna crew one of those boats out there that I see on Deadly Sketch?
Or wrestle some bears.
I don't know. We got an email about waiter size because you go in the creek where the stream where the grizzlies are fishing. So
Make sure you don't hit the fountain.
Yeah.
When you're out there.
Yeah, there's a couple, we take a train into Denali National and we are in cabins for 3 days and they said, you got no.
You got no nothing.
Nothing. So I told these guys I'd check in with them when I have availability, but I'm not gonna be able to be contacted for a couple of weeks.
See, that's the difference between you and me. I'm going to Wilderness Lodge. That's where I'm going for a few days. I got all the amenities. So, but it is very peaceful and beautiful.
You'll get your salmon over at Narcoossee's.
that will complete my tour of all 50 states.
After I hit Alaska.
Wow.
Every state.
And this board was very nice because I was gone for a week and I got no issues from this board. Thank you.
I had nothing to say.
I
moved
We just
to-
didn't know you were gone, Jan. Otherwise, we would have emailed you.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I had many.
I motion to adjourn. All in favor? Thank you very much.
Text. It says you're out of office. Texting me.
Sherry,